Dollars?
Yes.
For rent of how much? What period?
This is a fund that actually paid $1.4 million US for rent.
Hold on. 1.4
million US for rent.
Dollars?
Yes.
For rent of how much? What period?
For
rent of the office that you occupy?
Yes, and it's a cubicle actually. Directors have their files on the floor, and the one who rented it to us is called Prez Kuffours. He's President Kuffours' nephew.
Prez Kuffours?
Exactly.
He's President Kuffours' nephew?
Yes, he told me himself. That's when they came begging me. And I thought it belonged to us. Even though it's small, it's something we could have worked on. But no. They first paid rent for 2 years. That is 2021 to, was it? I think 2020 or to 2021 also. There was some
but it is for 2 years?
No. They did for 2 years. They were paying $10,000 a month for the office
for what space? For what square meter area?
No, right now, when you check a prime area better than where we are in that same environment, it's 6,500 a month. So it means that it was a ripoff.
They have caused financial loss to the state.
Exactly. And then now, when I came and they said, now they sublease it for 12 more years. And they quoted it in dollars. And then the payment, and of course, it's CDs, so you have to pay the dollar equivalent. Why did they quote it in dollars? Because if they say, let's say, $1 million, it means that if you are going to pay tomorrow, it has to be the CD equivalent of that dollar. And so they paid to them for 12 years. And when you calculate, it means that per month is $9,600 now for the 12 years each month. And they paid everything. And why am I saying that?
They paid everything.
Yeah, they paid everything. And you see, why am I saying this? We have workers that we can't pay. We have communities that we're not able to service. Okay,
and staff that you haven't paid. I mean, you
staff that you haven't paid. And when I came, our insurances, and thank SIC Honorable James Boatin, I had to write to him that please, if you can insure the vehicles for us when we have our releases, we'll pay you. And they did it immediately for us. And so some of our DVLAs all expired. You couldn't do that. But you had money, and $500,000 could have bought a land or a government, one of our government properties. And this was also a government bungalow, mind you. And so this is a fund. You had that money. Okay,
1.4 million.
Yes, you're giving it to Prez Kuffours. And when I told them I was not going to use the place, and I'll use every means possible, because when you rob, you cannot use the law to protect yourself. To take it, this Prez Kuffours came to my office and put money on my table, and I asked him, "What is that money for?" And he told me that it's commission. I said, "What commission?" Then he told me he's going to confide in me. Whatever happened with monies and everything, it was because people had to take commission.
No, so you mean that he came to bribe you?
He did. And this is a fund that actually paid $1.4 million US for rent.
Hold on. 1.4
million US for rent.
Dollars?
Yes.
For rent of how much? What period?
For
rent of the office that you occupy? Yes,
and it's a cubicle actually. Directors have their files on the floor, and the one who rented it to us is called Prez Kuffours. He's President Kuffours' nephew.
Prez Kuffours?
Exactly.
He's President Kuffours' nephew?
Yes, he told me himself. That's when they came begging me. And I thought it belonged to us. Even though it's small, it's something we could have worked on. But no. They first paid rent for 2 years. That is 2021 to, was it? I think 2020 or to 2021 also. There was some
but it is for 2 years?
No. They did for 2 years. They were paying $10,000 a month for the office.
For what space? For what square meter area?
No, right now, when you check a prime area better than where we are in that same environment, it's 6,500 a month. So it means that it was a ripoff.
They have caused financial loss to the state.
Exactly. And then now, when I came and they said, now they sublease it for 12 more years. And they quoted it in dollars. and then the payment, and of course it's CDs, so you have to pay the dollar equivalent. Why did they quote it in dollars? Because if they say, let's say, $1 million, it means that if you are going to pay tomorrow, it has to be the CD equivalent of that dollar. And so they paid to them for 12 years. And when you calculate, it means that per month is 9,600 now for the 12 years each month. And they paid everything. And why am I saying that?
They paid everything.
Yeah, they paid everything. And you see, why am I saying this? We have workers that we can't pay. We have communities that we're not able to service. Okay,
and staff that you haven't paid. I mean, you
staff that you haven't paid. And when I came, our insurances, and thank SIC Honorable James Boatin, I had to write to him that please, if you can insure the vehicles for us when we have our releases, we'll pay you. And they did it immediately for us. And so some of our DVLAs all expired. You couldn't do that, but you had money, and $500,000 could have bought a land or a government, one of our government properties, and this was also a government bungalow, mind you. And so this is a fund. You had that money. Okay,
1.4 million.
Yes, you're giving it to Hanna Bissue. And when I told them I was not going to use the place, and I would use every means possible, because when you rob, you cannot use the law to protect yourself. To take it, this Hanna Bissue came to my office and put money on my table, and I asked him, "What is that money for?" And he told me that it's commission. I said, "What commission?" Then he told me he's going to confide in me. Whatever happened with monies and everything, it was because people had to take commission.
No, so you mean that he came to bribe you?
Oh, Alaska and Americano, we are at the beginning of a new government. I take shape. Expectations of Ghanaians are very high. The government is constituting. So far things are I shall say that idea. I will say so far so good. But major part has to be done. You understand? So your honor how things are going to work out. Because Makacho said this John Mahama administration and the last leg Ghana democracy so. Bupe yakofom.
The last leg.
Oh yes.
Say bupe.
Yes.
Ghana
if this administration fairly count democracy out, the Ohunu Bokena no, the BBC Okroma is the reason why the government cannot afford to fail.
Wow.
Yes. So I think the president himself, he understands this more importantly than Mene Okra, and I'm sure say he will deliver on the mandate. Sebeya, yebeti me sustaining a democracy. Because Alaska, after independence, even since the inception of this Fourth Republic, we've come far, almost 30-something uninterrupted.
That's right.
Despite the challenges in as before. But in the last 8 years, it got to a point in Ghana where amping for coup instead of democracy.
That's right.
Because of how things were being run in this country. Institutions were fumbling. Institutions were crawling under the feet of the power that be at the time. So, Uhema, in abstract form, no, you say there is a democracy, but in reality, there was nothing like democracy.
Wow.
That is why I make a Ponzi scheme. You have imposters fronting democratic rules. So this time around, and I think reset, must bolster trust, confidence, and hope, irrespective of where baby will be a Geneviano. This is an opportunity for us to rebuild state institutions for once again, Ghana for me solidify your stance in our democracy. Now you be the gatekeepers and the shining star in this particular part of the world.
Right. That was Ivan Kyei Innocence, and I would say in Kano. For our messages, 054182 5106. Somebody, my CJ suspension, rule of law must be respected in removal process. Ghana Bar Association. Climax with issues are minority stand caution. Political parties be about they are going to demonstrate against the removal or the suspension and unlawful abrogation of amount from where Jumum dismiss as in the kick.
Yes, Alaska, sir, what about modern governance as here? Always an approach to modern governance can never be rigid. You have to be very flexible, very accommodative, because my culture says now people are reading, people are learning, people are coming out every day with different perspective about issues. And you need to be very accommodative and very flexible. Now, in an enterprise called governance, you know, Utiobia, or my culture say, Amamuo, and Yabosom, and your bay, with a bay where I do now, Masaroko. That's
right.
And that's no more better. Yes, I'm a moon.
Yes, and the enam.
Near was signed the enam. So, I'm a moon when you be now, was Sarakwana, Joe or bad, the BCO and come once them no. A mamu is a public enterprise. It's a pin crack former. You need to, apart from issues, what sensitive security implications are. Public need get to know and no is highly contested in some courts and so forth. So, a mamu diebe kubiano, as a man for whom. Let me start with Ghana Bar Association. Yeah, then Yamias said, a voice or Masha say issue letter.
Okay.
Because in the last 8 years, some phone calls who Chroma, people were calling them this day. So, yeah, then Yamiasi said, John Mahama Baye, once again they found their voices and they are back again, issuing statement and so forth. That's good. Yeah, you know, you're about to build a democracy. But Alaska, the tennis. So, Asamra Mokayano, they did not say, Abaya Bumraso.
No.
Good. Because Alaska, let me start by saying, say, member MPP there no so. So before elections, at Tembiana, I say Ababaya tried because all the submissions are tried to make reference to proud to the elections.
That's right.
And the how and yet necessary for us. Me limited the discussion to just the judicial requirement. I made a mistake. Alaska, institutional fumbling and also crawling that were operating at the behest of power that be at the time, you know. And yet just the judiciary. Several other institutions of state. These are fundamental institutions of our democracy. Are they needed to be strong? Sabaya democracy in Beijing. It got to a point that all these institutions, you know, were just crawling around the power that be. Institutions became inefficient and so ineffective to the extent that threaten our very cohesion as individuals, as a country, and our destiny as a country. So Ghana, for you came into a conclusion and said, no, there is the need for us to reset these institutions. And one of the fundamental institutions, and they leading that conversation, had to do with the judiciary.
That's right.
Fast forward, Yababedurua, I don't want to bore you with what happened in the past. Alaska, Yababedurua say, John Mahama has taken over. This is a president who has demonstrated clearly, say, I want to reset.
Okay.
The country, the economy, and every institution. Then there are Ghanaians who are willing to help you do that reset.
Okay.
So what do? We say we come around. Wherever there are problems, we will bring it to the attention of the president. Alaska, yakoda sorry ena abrantie bi efa pen the paper no Troy no come president or chichira no obi anim de wom.
Okay.
Yetwana another abrantie so far krata no the two papers no Troy no the envelope no come president. Another group, FI, no come petition calling for the removal
of the Chief Justice
in line with the provisions of the Constitution. Alaska, President, our constitutional duty. Say, obi petitions or they come up president say, oh, you be a president to me because on your petition. No?
That's right.
So, President J petition now, he is exercising his constitutional
imposed
duty,
right.
Constitutional injunction on the president. And John Mahama, the only president that will receive a petition. But the very moment John Mahama received a petition and his spokesperson, Felix Ofosu-Kwakye, issued a statement out there, then the dogs started barking.
The dogs?
Yes.
Quote unquote.
Yes. The dogs started barking. They didn't even know what was in the petition. And the Chief Justice president, and then me taking me time, I take you through all the issues. We say you kill all the gendarme there. The people will be clear on their mind. Alaska, yeti and say Chief Justice of a pen the paper. Actually, President Mahama say, Ebo matise nipa binum the petition abrawo. Say ya say yenyimadi. Mate nti Mr. Beya ma me copy na me nkan. Chief Justice base edi sa letter ne be she envelope mo wie beduru Mahama ho no. Na already na amanfo nya copy in the media.
That's right.
So that particular first leak in this whole thing came from the Chief Justice end.
Okay.
Because by the time President Mahama said it, said Nensa can letter no, or you're so much disappointed, say now already our public domain.
Okay.
So started from the leak, where the leak started from. Alaska again, me catch us at that point. The president had no business giving the woman your first a hearing.
That's right.
Because at that early stage, you know,
we betrayed the trust, you know.
Apart from that, at that stage, it was a preliminary stage. The Council of State was going to establish just merit, credence, because Constitution, you know, stated 3 threshold within which the Chief Justice can be removed.
Okay.
Apart from that, and the petition, the premier phase, you can sometimes, you know, even it is not evidential, your friends say evaluation, no. It is about meeting the threshold and seeing that the petition is competent, because Constitution they say your friends have misbehavior, incompetence, and infirmity, both body and mind.
Okay,
these are the threshold. And the obi chro krata not the comma president. Now outside this particular thing, it means the petition is incompetent.
That's
right. Meeting the threshold, and the Council of State will not even waste time
to even look into it.
Exactly.
Right.
So I want people to understand these things.
92.3.
So Alaska, other command, no, President was not supposed to give the Chief Justice a copy.
That's right.
But President Mahama has always been a very accommodative person. And I offer pen paper, na offer character petition 3 no more man ni nyina no. And I osili remember. All the 3 were sealed and was handed over to the Chief Justice. 3 days after, now I don't know yes seal the Chief Justice, you know. Now brand TV so content.
That's right.
So we know this second one so a free bar leaky. Alaska. Then the propaganda started. NPP as a political party in a tikwa pie because John Mahama aji petition. Now I didn't say your first oji petition ya or the Chief Justice edi na oni ho kwan. I'm say Alaska material say dey am pen say nipa no as you feel important, you think you are better than Obi.
That's right.
For president receiving petition no by saying no go against the constitution, and that is the impression they are creating there.
That's right.
Mao William Fisa before the elections Akufo-Addo receive a petition Obi amfa na court
or receive a petition on the same subject matter.
Exactly. What is that Obi didn't court at the time?
No.
President receiving petition and yet Mamin take you back to maybe Professor Mills na appointee no your friend Loretta Lamte.
That's right.
Na your friend saying Shraj boss. NDC John Mahama NDC your friend saying Professor Mills the same NDC. The woman was appointed by Professor Mills. Mahama as president in 2015 another pre.
That's right.
Actual petition the command President Mahama said Shraj boss no wadisika. Richard Nyama MPP ni on President no the petition no command MPP president o the same John Mahama or petition moody na temin. Actually the command say Shraj boss no wakohan a dan ewo AU village.
That's right.
Now every month bia no otua over thousands of dollars. Taxpayer and a fund enti maame no wo hwe ne nsemu a yenyi no President Mahama because oya accommodative Onua na ban e na appointed Loretta Lamte.
Me Ghana for muntie discussion na ekoso me bacho yenko.
Yes. And now President Mahama set up a committee because Obi a Shraj boss and the powers no equated to those at the high court.
Exactly.
And now President Mahama bonus boy set up a committee now omo ni nyina na model report to no. President Mahama removed the woman based on a petition sent to him by MPP people.
Another
Pre and Richard Nyama.
92.3.
At that time,
that's right.
At that time, the president was okay to receive petition. They were okay. Alaska, another president receiving petition. In 2018-2019, Abrante Befana Nas. Acquire investigation, I judges Jim Ponchine, we are money my justice.
That's right.
And now, Ochro petition, or an investigation in he supported with a petition calling for the removal of these people. So Ochro petition removing justice of the High Court. I go to the Chief Justice,
that's
but
right.
the final when it come to the president. The whole thing was done. The president was briefed after the premier fascia has been established, just like what has happened today. President Akufo-Addo could have waited for the committee to finish their work and take the ultimate decision. He didn't. He suspended. You can go to Google and type.
No, I have them.
Good. So you see, you kill all the jandam.
That's right.
President Akufo-Addo, committee ni suspended all the 4 judges, including Justice Derry. It will interesting no judges now are more affected than Madam Fom. A very good friend of mine. No Alaska. And President Akufo-Addo suspended the judges.
At the time, a committee no.
Yes, because the merit has been established.
He was in a hurry.
Then he suspended them. When the committee finished the work, I was submitting my President Kuffours. He dismissed all of them.
That's right.
Yes. So President all Pamo judges, Kuffours ye be pen. No other announced petition. Because of misconduct, and I fast forward. John Mahama by and the accusation is Omoka say Umbayina Dino Muyina di. Na John Mahama crack say Chief Justice on Penasem NDC for Canada. Na Omoano Moshe petition Nachi and na Omako Alaska. Today I can sit here and tell you, say, petition na aircon first one was submitted to the president by a police officer.
A police officer?
Yes.
Okay.
Who is a lawyer? Oko police headquarters ya honote. Na address ni bi or their
okay.
Onye NDC ni. Ena onye John Mahama nkrofo no nam na NDC. This is a public servant.
Okay.
And a reason na original so or the command chief justice no a personal
or the command president.
Or the command president a personal level rifts wenya with the chief justice.
Okay.
And the kind petition na or say asem or court and na party to asem no. And na call Supreme Court. Chief Justice and another panel no na odi asem. Aja process no koso. Omudi asem ni nyina wie no. Police ni na defo.
Okay.
And Chief Justice a try on judgment and overcome ya wa ya buagu so they be defo. And ya we asem no. Then off record, off judgment, and some Chief Justice can and can judgment ya we as obi asoro kofie. Then according to police officer na oye lawyer no, onye any police officer oye ACP.
Okay.
ACP police officer. And Chief Justice baka kire ne say mo nyinyini mo nimhwe mo sora na mo betena ha na mo ha nipa adwen. Like ana very demeaning and very unse as obi aye ade awie na mo sora mo ha nipa adwen mo that kind of demeaning, looking down on people, that insulting way no as a mo nimhwe uhu attitude na say oko school or ewiem or no kwani exactly that attitude no sa na oye o kan petition na police ni say ne posture nkasa kwara na ekuno obeye nano no obeti o kwan ofa so chim nano no costa bi na waye nani asebre nano ama wahu se sabi wo de wo ya boa bi kura ma no yes sana na oye enti o dimini police ni say mo panyini we ya wo ya senior lawyer na se for nsem bia na makofa na mo ba e na all kan wo court a man 40 police ni hu sa nipa ho ogun anim ase.
That's right.
And according to police officer no say I disagree with asema wo kan no. O say free Chief Justice and no say police for nche no say okasa no waka bi. Kwa na police for mo a police ni a oye lawyer yi ana ya chie no ye no ko shame. Because Chief Justice say nche no.
Wow.
In Alaska, obiti baby no say John Mahama na she obi achi a we personal akwasema ba studio ha.
Na
wadi nsem hunu na me no wanya banta. Na fe ye de to so baby. Owners or whoever enka ho. This is a personal level where ya Chief Justice and the police ni anya. Kwan ya ofa so a o treaty no at the court and ani anye ho. Ogu na nim ase ne na asefo nom. Na Alaska okọ court we are judge your actors standard practice in those kind of how you are supposed to behave, conduct yourself. Right. Those comments very offensive, derogatory manner. Your friend saying comment and sa mannerism bina ye so demeaning and so discourteous, no. You don't do that. But apart from say oh yes I never we you know your sanchi police no ko detain no because
Chief Justice say
to detain somebody, the powers of arrest, Alaska is vested in the police, right?
Very well.
And to activate it, there are processes out for the Criminal Act. But to say he should be detained, the question is the crime is saying court na yejina. Why bonea? If it's a contempt crime, the contempt application must be heard.
Exactly.
You don't. Chief Justice moncheno na mfa no nkotum Alaska na Kuffours na no ye president na nkasa kra no na nipa kana adwen kire no how much more a Chief Justice and I make say you see the veil of reverence I Ghana for war for the judiciary no go beyond individuals. It is the office, the reverence, because it's our judiciary is one of the foundational institutions of our democracy. Yentimin treating with contempt and so. But individual now to honor. So when you are watching so about better year, men you watching so better me who man for because we are caught. My catcher said ne. Pontius Pilate no mo hyehyɛ nadeɛ kyɛ na kɔkɔ obi na no mu kura nadeɛ no ɔmo ba nne no mbedi nsɛm hu na this generation amanfo bɛka ɔmo adwan kyerɛ ɔmo.
That's right.
Because people will always want to know what is happening, the truth and everything. But my free say or you're all powerful or superior in Alaska. And then your friend is saying obetimi ayo de ope. So police ni no all deal no petition in some of chum no mean to mean can because address because time in your side. Again Alaska. Another petition was submitted by another gentleman. Honestly, not same you say. Already, Sobona or the above Chief Justice, no. A young Marco 27 or 28.
That's right.
Accusations and or the above Chief Justice. Now, by me no about the king who dada. Aye, sir, holiday na.
That's right.
Okopia 1 billion plane ticket demand ba. Oko to yana per diem no. Yes, Alaska. You say. Oya jeja na wutu kwanya nhihye da wokoye adwuma nhihye kwanya fa so ye tuaka opese wudu kunu na se for obusunya because adwuma na wokoye you can go with your small family say be keep you that one is appropriate. But Alaska when your personal holidays ha wo kwa nhihye da ho anya state in the finance bibia ba ye bia but enam say we chief justice active duty ukona bibi kotoa still a state no enti emra no say okosa na wo de ye betia ba ho ka na anam sa still wo ye adwuma ma state ni ntino ya the security ba kan ho because one nam street of London se sia no bi kobo wasoma e Ghana chief justice enti for security di wachi na wo ne nko na eto de ye den a anya hwe betima atwitwa age wansa na ho police for kra beba ba. There is a reason for that. There is a reason for that because you are still chief justice. Even though you are on a private holiday,
that's right.
Your security is paramount to the state. That is why a provision have been made to say, oh, kwa for security count. Alaska, on the niatia chain will be or see okay, security now made much in my university me me ba e sheho.
Ne buy security.
Yes, until the woman dropped the security make police ni ebi ohia ni bi ono so na ja. Odi koba 10,000 per day mo ba ono na yere ne man na busua kakra yi. Ono so mbedidi dabi. Oyi police ni tina so ontena fie. This is obi a oni memra o.
That's right.
And okofa ne baba shame. And okotwa plane ticket no twa anya first class mpo Alaska.
Economy.
Class na the last grade na wom no because say ubeko US now with the 1 billion and over betra plane ticket to the United States of America. Enya de ketwa.
That's right.
Okoye no. Nsa aban panimfo tu kwaye mo pe diem. Ne ba no acting instead of the police, at $10,000 converted to Ghana cedi ene. Ndi obi oya young lady a obre or chirade we kura bia se kwan obi twa na se for no. O ma menye chief justice. Enka within 1 week, but menya $10,000 a free. Alaska, this thing happened and then again a sign CBM because the same woman on her private holiday was traveling to Africa. Is it one of the African countries? Is it Tanzania? Yeah. The same thing. Abe culture the security in Ntim Fordjour on kunu nsim na de kunu se narcotic control board so kaya in the way or ya ban adwuma dada and of time security no ni si nchan and okofa ne ba ne kunu this anya ne ba and on ne tem and a state no twa plane take ne ma okọ no so ntua ne kunu no pedem because nam
adechia me kunu akonofo $G.
Yes.
Dollars. Almost $dollars.
So $6,000 ne bugu. And Alaska, you see, I never come among Fontiasi and say, I been a see your friend is saying, Tamale Teaching Hospital.
That's right.
The Chief Justice is a judge. That is her core function. They train you to do and they say, we are judge, a certain judge. When you become Chief Justice, Alaska, an administrative role. So now, you are a judge at the same time performing an administrative role.
That's right.
So once we are near mana a call wronger, people are not pursuing you because you are a judge. Now what kind the independence of the judge? Say judge ya oti Supreme Court no oti Supreme Court bench no so or ni rule ba ko pe.
That's right.
Judicial role. But once you are a Chief Justice, you perform both judicial role and administrative role.
That's right.
Ebina lawyers teacher your friends doctors in Nketia Otamale no. the person I di as a doctor.
Doctor, but being a
doctor, he has been given an administrative role. If you demonstrate incompetence, the president can sack you.
Exactly, Charlie. Kill the janda. Now
Alaska
messages in the banner.
Yes, so Alaska,
messages in the bar.
This is the truth. And the Chief Justice, in performance of her administrative duties, you know, and in some baby then Anna other petition, you know, Alaska, you can't offer so performing the role now, and then the moon some there.
Serious,
I don't know, group be a former shining star.
Shining
star. The petition, no call. Alaska, now Hanna who transfer, ruling no ba, na say in favor, we are. Lawyer be I say, wakwa sika, a one sense out accusation told we so court could be. Omo Emma judgment didn't quite effect. You say Chief Justice I issue circular say no, sad lawyer no route court to a permanent.
Exactly.
You find something bad for something.
That's right.
Lawyer no. Alaska. So you can't interference pa. Okay, these are allegations mum. Nipa na raisy. But do you know the funny aspect of it? Nipa no most that petition you know. Do na ya juma o judicial room.
Exactly. I am on one group.
Yes. The people. So those people, Alaska. So those who are pushing John Mahama into this thing, no, you should be very careful because Nipana or more call say Chief Justice Afumono. They are the very people who are in the judiciary. Yes. For instance, Obi say most of the administrative roles, you know, like your friend say registrar and as a form no. Obetimi di ama obi a sabi onye judge ya owo duties a oye na adwuma no wa appoint obi a oye judge na odeda role na ma no na at the same time the person is sitting with additional responsibility as either high court or appeals court judge and according to the person it has rendered the office inefficient. These are subject of the events of debate and the committee, you know, will have to look at all these things. So some of these allegations are very technical allegations, but again the fact is MPP for politicizing and make us a nyansa name because Alaska me samba chiro one key thing man for be anyamo so petition no mo chiro na ye tre no Alaska amodo koma hwan Council of State.
That's right.
Yes. Council of State no be establish that what they call the premier facie that to ensure that there is credence. Alaska within this Council of State current one no we nim nipa omote so for Yakufu or ye the same role as Mami ya tuna boss we nei or ye then Chief Justice immediate past and as a recently retired Chief Justice. So for Yakufu or Council of State no Alaska okay your friend saying bedegbe
yeah that's right.
Akoto Bamfo dissenting okay those time election petition that woman on friend by the Akoto your friend saying Akoto Bamfo.
That's right, Bamfo. Okay.
She's a retired Supreme Court judge. She's part of this Council of State. Madam Betty Modidrisu.
That's right.
Or former Attorney General. Or to this Council of State way so. And now Ojia Hoho several other people. So Alaska. So do you think that John Mahama bet me for former first of Yakufu Akachi and say petition and Yakura Monka say
no?
Do you think he can do that? Can President Mahama call Akoto Bamfo? Our catch and say, "Men, I'm your president. You're from John Mahama." And the petition, you know, say a new value crown and 1 year not value mrem. Can he do that? These are people you cannot push them. So for Yakufu is one of the firm-minded people you can speak of. Akufo-Addo crying him. On the year demonstration when Akufo-Addo abra amo ejiji amamfo sika no. So for these top-notch lawyers, judges. I'll bet me go through all this petition to conclude say
there is a
premier facie. It means so we MPP now what in chain. Na so we demonstration. So Alaska man for be we come for into suntosu. So right. They need to exercise.
Who needs exercise?
Alaska me for me.
But only say premier facie crown according as the established no out of 31 30 AG2 mu say there is. And now who say
30 by minted
what it mean is that there is this communique everybody say answer na you be establish say we no so body na etna say no
okay
out of 31 30 can say there is
yes so and I make say
nipa maku 31
Alaska
emu 30 say
you see
nkwan wo ho
the omo ye no you say na make say the entire petition na omo leak to the public say looking at the gravity of the allegation, there is no way she will survive.
That's right.
So who's a Ghana Makato say issue ban the NDC MPP and then we lose the value.
Very well.
So near Sanema we are air cost is just political agenda among 4 years just to sway the issue because over the years Sani yet here issue ban the NDC MPP.
But you about 2 years was actually
exactly that is why we are doing it here. Alaska. So that is why they are doing all these things. And the question is me and Nora Yapam Yavan saying Tamale Teaching Hospital CEO.
That's right.
Several other individuals have been sacked. So why is there MPP any interest in talking for these people? But the Chief Justice, Mame already know a man for to read no sono mame.
Also day.
Also no mame a man for the Yamena make a man for now to read no sono mame. And the Diamu ye this aggressive fashion as a foreign. Exactly. Because some of these things normally a civil society organization and who's
they are not smart.
What is any credible civil society organization beside the way?
Any the word is credible.
Credible.
That's
What
right.
will be?
Be
None. So actually say in some na air cost no any political motivation be Ghana for want their judiciary to be sanitized. And this attitude, that kind of way now, a compromising the integrity of the judiciary. No? And among force when some can, hey, who's a nama ya dear Paminyanka, the transgressions of the Chief Justice.
That's right.
Near yeah, you can first way to 2 date this and that.
But I some na a wohon ye chiri.
Yes, yet to 2 date this and that. So Alaska, for this Council of State members to say there is a value in this petition, let us set up a committee. Then at that point, John Mahama too has a discretion to exercise. I can't just say that decision to suspend or not to suspend and by force.
That's right.
Discretionary powers. But the president saw the need to say, some are not suspended. No, I mean I support it, and I think that the woman herself will be happy. Alaska, do you know why? You are not responding to a single petition. No. Apart from that petition, to come, I think still a month for cry.
Yes, you about 28 plus.
Alaska. Petition na abano a 3 solid petition. You need time to respond.
That's right.
Court. And Alaska, me do back panel na omwati nipa 5 no. Nipa 6 or 5.
I have 5.
Court na ni mu.
I have 5.
Alaska. Papa na oti ani mu unim no. Say your friend say justice Panama ni bi.
That's the Panama.
Yes. Alaska.
That point rough.
Yes, papa we ya fam e o ma me we nsa no e wo court ho no. Ya se ubia du bone a e bi ka wa.
That's right.
The papa we ya fam e o ma me we. But you see the funny aspect of it is Alaska and ma me na ye ni superior. And what here me fan say bibia si. We ye host.
That's right.
Now you say that the Bosco and your friend say manager. Wa kwaye aniamo ho and omati committee in Alaska. Now wa se na se no.
So she amin na.
When are we chairman of the committee in the to Bosco no.
I can make dream rough.
So what anyway be our come up. Now you can imagine the ordeal na animguase sema be fam.
That's right.
And Alaska sanka ponaman no kwampo anka nyantokwa otu ani a ya odomlivo na te hoyi. Ya odomlivo yi. Eh asemba ba o.
Already kura wa kan say kwaya wo fa so kura na omnu kura wa nkokot mo bi na asem kwaya okọ ofie wi asa na obo aye kura no. And so ho asem.
This is domlivo. Your friends are all ye na dwuma. President apam no order court to say no civil society organization called the court say no unni ho kwan ma me na ntena asem no so twen ya ma ya odomlivo e call retirement and sana obedi asem no yes that is what they say. So among for catch us we your sunu ma me na Alaska it's not as if said the Chief Justice is compromised in terms of empaneling swiftly after marking through in the case even less than 24 hours you can empanel
even Friday's Supreme Court in you.
So you see that part but all these things feed into the perception.
Right.
Alaska, the MPP is a sinking entity.
We are sinking.
Oh yes. Now look at coming out of elections. One lose badly. They don't even know what to do, how to organize that. So we accuse you, we accuse you. This is a political party that is sinking. They have no integrity. So and semunu bi e koso bia no they maximize it.
Party need direction.
Na Alaska, na no mete say almost my boycott TV3.
That's right.
Omo we meeting na TV3 camera omo we no pia to action. Alaska at this point MPP ni TV3 when he obi. Me to a video so na make I can tell you say one of the biggest media house of this country and media general.
Exactly.
you don't boycott their destiny, because you need them to amplify your message. There is no platform I'm from because I don't have your friends enemy platform.
No. That's right.
Because wherever I go, my purpose is to deliver my message.
It is just like, sir, let's use that NDC case of my boycott to Kokuruku. But sir, other platforms are like media.
Yes, and even with that one, I disagree. Because you must always be a friend of the media if you understand politics.
That's right.
Communication is the biggest aspect of politics. So the biggest and the fledgling media house in the country, also a boycott. Now it doesn't make sense. So for me, this is a party that is clutching at straws. They need to go back and say, and again, Alaska.
Now,
last one.
Now wrap up.
MPP a press conference catch Ghana for say, you know, and then we are the doyens of democracy.
That's right.
John Mahama didn't say who percent or the democracy into danger. Ne MPP never bought Ghana democracy home. Now my question is, in the last 8 years, Nebuchadnezzar tia kumbiano so and say hunu na odino. Where were their sense of patriotism? In the last 8 years, and near my phone, Akosu Okrom has including the Eden Dipana, Mamfa from Eokromano. That time, no more sense of yes, patriotism, nation, woman, and so for me, no normal person, and I ever give attention to what is happening. For demonstration, I am telling the IGP, say, he should not do anything to stop them.
He should allow them.
Yes, because the power to demonstrate, you know, and no, you can't take it from anybody. They should allow them to demonstrate. Either Galamse or whatever. Give them the free room, because Ghana is a democratic state. For that one there, I'll go for it. But you see, those things will not amount to anything. And the President Mahama should remain resolute, firm, and committed to the promise to the people of this country to reset this institution. Because after 4 years, people will not care about the power you wielded.
Right.
All that will matter in this country is your name.
Say.
And how are you going to leave that name behind? Alaska president, you know, people have come and they've gone, but to remain immortal forever, no, will have to be your name. Kwame Nkrumah, his name, no, is printed in gold all over in the heart of everybody because of the legacy. We are president. You need to take a cue from this. Stay focused, stay resolute, fair-minded, and as long as what you're doing is right and absolute, you need to stand on your ground and then execute it. Alaska, my main pay tribute to Pope. So
that's right.
You're Roman into winning.
Yeah,
I think that the life back will live here very inspiring. He lived for humanity.
Now all crowd now count now $100.
Yes, because I don't know. He lived by that standard. Or America, I said the home of SUV, not the Fiat ticket to Abim. You see, that is the life he lived. From Argentina, poverty background, he lived his life from what matter and your money.
Nakamuya musuna na nado na ya Pope.
Alaska. the Catholic Church is the richest religious institution on the planet.
Nanado ya Pope.
Alaska.
But
the man lived a moderate life. Baby. Obey Pope, no. The first trip I embark here to Lampedusa. Lampedusa. Lampa.
That's right. That's right.
You know. Baby, migrant. No. That is the first place. Very symbolic and very significant. He went there to inspire them from time to time, war-torn areas. Your friend is saying, Syria, man for a video call. So that is the life. Are we a leader? I expect people to live, because I don't know, the people will not care about how many cars you bought, how many houses, but the legacy and the impact you made. Oh, you have a lot of idiots in power.
Ivan Abotre, me can watch the JJ me ba. And Dr. Baumia say mo say ono oye kramoninti eno man to abamfa mano no Reverend Ntim kro no wetwa no ono kro wetwa Reverend Ntim wo ne constituency.
In what sense?
Reverend Ntim Fordjour oye Christo de
okay.
Ono kro wanya abache no akwano store kakra wo ne won ton ye meba
eniema no ne fe ne buo ene said ye entwe nyinam kanea enti na krofo ani gye ho saa no say home appliances nko na opedia to Hisense na ufie be dawase Hisense everyday prices for everyday people.
ene wan kwa adwuma enti akwada ne hwe na beda wo so se ne be ya wo yebetima kwa adwuma afi wo hu se wonnim se na obesesa wo ba ne diaper enti wo ye video call de frɛ wo yere se omo
hello medo bibe e boko ana
me ya omo ahofe abeku diaper no me de asesa no
me di kan for diaper network
video call yi etwetwe sisi wo twɛn na video call na sa ba no
92
That's right.
And we are just appealing to the people of Ashama. The branch executives for Ashama, you know, I mean, don't mean I say. See what I fracture or my tremmy, a door. But and then, Utiko Ashama. Would I just walk on the street of Ashama? They be some for their opinion, their view.
Very well.
And you know.
Do now we're disappointed.
FM 92.3.
But if you Papa, His Excellency, John Dramani, Mama Adarumentino, Mama Crofati, as I say. A man menungwasie enka papa no enu no bibi bia obi pobia obi abobia no onsane
wow
onsane papa John Dramani mama because there's so much tension in the town krum na yade individual displeasure
wow
eba become it will not help the cause of the party and the message
wait just we a unifier what just what breath for power
yeah that is it that's right say you ku yin no ya bomb price of twa nyame MD mboy na yentimi enko yenim na yentimi ye adwuma se na be party betimi tumpon because say be chafra John Amanya no na ti ashama
that's right
and this ever part of the mama ebe take a decision bia it will based on what some leadership in the party akache no na se be edu na Alaska wa woni se nipa woni ne hwi bom etimi ka so ntimi no nyejuma the body no we o chema a woni ti ono a we expect se ono anko be du kan etibi akemi ama oyi wa ma na wo MP so yi wa ma na jo mama de wa heading
wow CJ suspension
the body and the papa no ho na wo hwe kwan so offer the share papa no krapo a to say the papa no ye nyan excuse my language that is what the facial expression that is what it depicts
92.3
that's pen that's a reference one
and no ebone ben na John Mama ye at least John Mama beti na kunya so 4 years as a president of Ghana and 2 years or 3 years as a vice president chief justice to Wood and Ananya Georgina Wood sorry with the displeasure you know outstanding one His Excellency John Dramani
they say odi nyansa ebe shim na ye man so be jinwe nyansa no
ne sector now
na sa party no indeed
ne sector now
that's right
ya woko no na no oye interview bi Alaska I'll measure that and make it time. So those of you, because of time in TNT, more share, more multi, wow, access to social media. Be an oko YouTube. I just go and find my YouTube channel, subscribe. My video no at all. You can just go and watch. Until we hear now social media, oko social YouTube. I just look for Ivan Kyei Innocent 1 on YouTube and then subscribe, and then you get the video. Alaska, the TNT say. Sa your friend is saying entity no Madam Hanna Bissue eda no MPP pencil omoko han corridor baby kitwa bi mo de aye office
okay
office no I belong to President Kuffours no office yourself friend Kuffours Kwame Kuffours Alaska
92.3
Sikana
apotro wu ana hu ni tenti ampa
Sikana or charge this entity for a month no just what's your besu
corridor hono ana one lease to Sankrofu way for 12 good years 12 years ana kwabrane atua 12 years ni nyina sika de ama no Alaska ya tua 4 years ni sika nyina de ama no baby o won minerals development fund minerals development
yes minerals development fund 12 years no mo lease dan no e no mo tua 12 years ni nyina de ama no amatua 12 years ni yes aban no kwa abonti ama na be ye 92.3 e na ma me no ba e na obehu ye o se oti na office ana abrante ye Kuffours office yi e ba ne ho because we hu say red flag wo mu that's right oba no ana the $10,000 envelope mu ana the bra Hanna Bissue se o se den o se ye debe commission no bi ya han wo dan na ye tua ka 12 years wo ba ba tia me a envelope $10,000 wo menyan den
obema commission
my commission say onim krama akoso within way I think obe bribe no
oh auntie Hanna $10,000 is
like very smart enough say oje
okay
and I record it and I order my man for say omonfanto as evidence
okay
because so it's a criminal way uko induce no because what would say a dying no some man $10,000 and so enuru because aye cubicle bia
oh
me say bonia akufo ado ne MPP for the Ghana no
and you want at all costs osuru ma maintenance
now let's go hand down 12 years sanka yentua na sa but what you na boom dia
na dying 12 years
dollars amount no ko over be your friend say $1 million
hey
to Kuffours fase
Ahoto FM 92.3.
Hey, I'm for young kwasi adwuma.
So they will continue to be rich. No one can tell you mass omo young kwasi ampe. No papa me bob.
So just imagine say wa bra na e bia medicine wan ye na Ghana ha na okọ Russia. Bra kwa bre. Na wa ba ba say we medical doctor na ya post to do akọ to enwu akurase baabi bra wo be bre monthly salary waje ya 12,000. Na we je 12,000 na be dey.
Me ba jo. So what tower wenum? Utifie what tower wenum? Na some of we aba be catch koye demonstration.
Alaska. Enti onje oye no abusianfo na edidi o.
Kuffours
fase ye.
Cycle
92.3.
Enti uhu say ya mobinum ti radio city TV so na ya kasa. Alaska obi amoye pa o.
Oh dabi.
Ya dwen na ya ka. Memeti hai obi a obakasa me sha ase ko TV ana radio wa mame oye politician so wa mame 1 cd 2 cd me famfa even car kora no. Let the person come out and say.
Oh dabi anukura don you.
Alaska
dabi yemaw na yankura de yemaw. Dabi.
Ya nkasa na yetwie moja de se obi oye nibio up and down nyina. Ya na yekoba. But this is the truth.
Na information ya talk ready ya show cry e skaketo.
Alaska, this is the truth. Edaho. And you see the gravity of crime and Kuffours we are perpetrating for no. That is why I disagree with Attorney General. Ni pace are very slow. What is Abrante na say our NIB no?
I know when you the audacity.
I see the Attorney General because Alaska, you did a press conference and tell the whole world say evidence here ready. Yeah, you didn't court is here 3 weeks with here.
One name sir Ivan, I'm not holding brief for the Attorney General, but I think last Wednesday on the show, Nana Kwadwo Yeboah and others were criticized as you rightly said, and there was a message from the AG's office.
Okay.
To you say there be Attorney General document ni docket bibia aye ready. And the way I say you no and yes sir and now the acting chief justice or the communicate biaba cases be I the baba find the office no chire panel ebeko because omo hu niama ewo the judiciary honum nankasa enti enkoye Professor Mills time unya de koye na nkrofo na gu ho so the research and your research we are
Alaska under my politics na yeah.
That's right.
So managing the legal side of it, you manage the political aspect of it.
Exactly.
Confidence is key. And you need to sustain it. People want to see those things.
And maybe yes one
you matter. Yeah, na yeah, so
that's right.
Because you see, we cannot break in the middle.
Oh yeah, researching
the energy and everything need to. Your fans say flow. Sabe ya Ghana and who say things are in line. Alaska Tamale. Your friend is saying Minister of Health.
That's right.
Okohu niema ba kwa na bi no na anye ho. Ya say abrante bi de ne ba ho because of niema eni ho nti wawu.
That's right.
I'm a whole Alaska's a life ulusu you can never get it back. Enti sa niema we ye SC a obi akọ hospital. There essay because oyare no all sorry free in fear the hospital no share trust and confidence all the institutions provide.
That's right.
Now onya kokoduru na hospital ka say you need oxygen you need wo ya indirectly no a death sentence and our pass your money pano. This act of negligence akoso and they be and the kwada di our Tamale teaching hospital abrante ya we ho hwe enye and according to them and nema na omu hia say and again the funny aspect of it mete ye ne say yes abrante no kwa no hospital ho no na enya ho no yare ye o eye referral na ye de na ba and they say ICU no near man over here no any hospital. Or the question is before you refer anybody to any further hospital, no, there is a communication that is ensured.
Exactly.
You call, you tell the person you're the modern neighbor. Now what prepare in advance. Anti-communication cause from referral hospital to teaching hospital. No, what was the communication?
Exactly.
Did they tell them say they will need these services, and did they assure them say they are available? Because anywhere you refer them to other facility, more hospital. That is what we did. Sometimes for refer we are confanochia. We team for any to ambulance if I not confanochia. No, you need to call.
To find out first Niama over here.
And now sometimes they need to set it up. And now depending on the case, sometimes you need to call, make available way. Nipana care na urban way emergency. You need to prepare in advance. So in this case, if the gentleman was transferred to Tamale Teaching Hospital, the thing is, what communication they call so and so on modern neighbor. Now said Neman would near. Why will you allow them to bring him, not Kumasi or any other place? These are legitimate questions, and this act of negligence. Now no mate Sunyai Regional Hospital. Or what is a kind of what your friend is saying? Tamale now we cross no. Kohaya there lights ya boho to 2 or more. Just say we know that we can do the right thing.
After
they are doing everything new. Oh, Sunyani Regional Hospital. Inpatient transfer mo ba de da ho asabe bu ya transfer chese gidi
shale muya na mon kwampa na sha ye fi munya wa jumla yo mumra
Alaska. You see, in as much as I sympathize with healthcare as a professional because I am one.
That's right.
And the way, but sometimes we need to be very efficient because working now where you are dealing with human life, you will never get it back. The aspect minister has to do with cameras in the chino.
That's right.
You don't do that. Because you are dealing with professionals, doctors, and as for conversation. Now, man, for a film, that kind of way. No, I say some public stands be now. Oh yeah, you don't do that. Especially when we are dealing with professionals of high caliber and as for no man. You can go and equally take permission and video everything. But why am my office as a doctor? What make us as a minister find a camera? No, you don't do that.
That's right.
You don't do that. And that is the aspect.
You're happy. But apart
from that, I think say, hey, Alaska nipa life na you can say me. And again, what people are not getting is say, who's the Oko teaching hospitals you've made a decision. Say the CEOs must always be doctors. Either the person is a retired doctor or we na your more that mandate. But you see, being a doctor is different from performing that administrative role.
Okay.
And in this case, the person is not being penalized for being a doctor. That's why Ghana Medical Council for release from whatever.
That's right.
Because the person is not being penalized as a doctor. But the extra administrative role as a CEO.
The negligence of the office.
Alaska, sometimes again, no,
they are being political. They are being political.
No, because if you're able to decipher it the way I'm saying, say he's a doctor, nobody obeying as a doctor. Because as a doctor in performance of his duty or theater or any operation, even the president cannot tell him say, you can't do that. That is your role. Nobody can interfere. But where extra administrative duty has been given to you as a CEO, then you move from being a doctor to an appointee of government.
That's right.
Administrative functions. Now, President Mahama, the president has every right to sack you.
Exactly.
And the way I'm taking Sanka your doctor Nina, president call her, and a minister call no what as a doctor come here
you fight
I'll fight for him. But a doctor with an administrative role and nearmana air cost as a result of negligence. So the argument is now doctor CEO on the wire because nearmana by name provided Adentina Mabana Momunisamunium provided nearmano Namube penalize no. Alaska teaching hospitals are independent hospitals or more manage or more IGF everything.
That's right.
Independent. So Alaska say nearma ni ho and ya bra patient about obe wunu na baka say nearma ni ho. The question is nearma any ho no there na won so we so we are teaching hospital now what challenges in as for now you register and let people know say Sunyan Regional Hospital Tamale Teaching Hospital nearma way let that thing be on record enti assemble. You make reference.
Because what resume memo at the
yes. So you see, sometimes you cannot blame them much because we know how deficient our facilities are. But the question is, what you as a CEO now? Sanema way you any honor. Answer an incident to the business. Dear Ben, dinner, yeah. One year, it means so one or the other because yes, it's an independent entity. You are in charge. That's why you have a CEO. You manage your IGF, everything. You pay yourself.
Entitlement.
Yes. Alaska, do you know the funny aspect in this? Your friend is saying, teaching hospitals. Me a kamen kwanka mind just hospitals in free. Is independence in Yansa be any. Okay, cover the time.
That's right.
Challenge Saba. Kwame despite. Or a private person. Or no one to the bottom say, oh, however. As a private person, me osika me de boamo mo mfa nye mo nema as a teaching hospital. Kwabrani ji sika na mo koto okara mo chema o mo ho. Urafi.
That's right.
So yes, mo koto nema nema na mo behia bi no mo mfa ntoto bi. Utimi ko hospital. Alaska oxygen me ana asema me kan nya se obi na ka kire me na me ka oxygen si so nipa ne bi o ha. Omo way a compromise to the sense that uja no one kasa ntumi nhome. So they needed to be assisted. So it means that so the oxygen sin so oxygen is sinipa no so a cylinder na asa. A death sentence. Me say yes ntumi save at that point. So you know say you are going to die because you jaiwa one kasa ntumi nhom. Cylinder na esi no asa. There is nowhere around ho benya bi wo ba bia. Oh. And the one na abewu. We say pay by force. By force death. So this is the gravity of insama yeka. So what is you mistake or chana betima be patcha because no human life teacher ni mistake or chana betima be correcting.
That's right.
But in a hospital setting we mistake obi life is gone. So this belligerent stance by the Council of State, your friends say Ghana Medical Council no. Now scientists no almost say Alaska, you see, and some now air costuno, it is not about the doctor being penalized. It is an administrative head of a facility who has demonstrated negligence and incompetence. And as administrative head of the same institution, who is the Minister of Health, he has every right to fire.
That's right.
And so why yes, sir? 2.3. You can disagree, but for me, I think that near na air costuno. Oh yeah, and one kind of wow. And near na musi muni no. So the question is proud to say Obeba Hono. Ebianka will communicate and I'm on the Kasaya. Kasaya man.
So your unannounced visits.
Okay. And about on the side of government and so said near man or honor between their mama. Why do you also wait? So so the camera be do with your mama for 2 hours and
but been so na onim serve.
Oh no onim ben ya kan wa hefa nya Ghana ha na nyina yete onim challenges na e wo hospitals no onim ben onim. So I think that they are sideways obo ha na wabo ha. Alaska obia need to sit up well and a camera no di na chi no on drop here no because we are not dealing with kids, we are dealing with professionals. Right. Medical doctors have been for my over years. We don't have a conversation with now for the phone. Me, what make us the phone to me so me jab from.
Oh, the phone too, sir.
I'm telling you, we don't do that because these are conversations that should not be in camera. Open see in your meeting, yes, we can agree, sit in a room, have the media there. But those minor one-on-one conversation, you know, those camera presence is not necessary.
Me that say. That was Ivan Kyei, Suarez. I say Alaska. Yeah, that's in your Juma wo EM my Ghana fats. Oh boy, Juma pass in fact make do bibia make sia fe no market so baby make sure nipa bone. We nipa bone pan o you obi a oye threat to on my way. Juma hama ko wanim na ye Juma papa for my so bete. Money should be hu. CaptainSmart be joining me. There's no idea the amount and not pay for suspension.
When the dash on the phone in the dark.
Him to die. I said that is not what I'm saying.
But reduce the bill.
But what I'm saying is that the medical bills are becoming too much. Eti okay kwa pania wo. Ye timu wa pania ba ko nya meje nkwa fine. Wanje wa na wo kro no. Benka say yenye sa. But you see, we a leader. Ese se wo hwe emre bia wadru so. Ene said ye lead there.
But last week you can't why.
One, the member president to Sukra o. Min do hokra. Afe na me free kan aka kan malando watamale. Se ya me no ka say. Wo hwem pa Africa pe.
ɛna sɛ obi hyɛda ɛma obi wu ɛwɔ hospital a yɛnyɛ ne hwee
di ne si yɛ abira enyimtu yi a no America yi ne doctor prescribe
Michael Jackson ɔkɔ jail
ne doctor ne no to no
okay wonim abrante yɛ fɛ no koda
yɛ no to nwum yi
yesu yɛ nkwa bodo da yɛ nkwa bodo ɛyɛ duru a yɛde maa no ne kun no
the doctor ne nam hɔ
oh na busuafo bɛ kan ɔno akora kan yɛ nso owu ɛduro na ɔyare na yɛde maa no na nyɛ no ne yare no ho aduro ne yɛde maa no
wrong prescription
enti time na wo hu sɛ o mama no wrong prescription no na yɛ late tim sɛ koda wu
dodoɔ na fa sɛ akuo
yɛkum koda menkai na busuafo ya but koda is dead and gone but you see as usual of us
na yɛ preventable
oh ɛyɛ nyame na dema bohu nyame na ɔgye ɛno nti no babia ade no aduro no ɛsɛ sɛ yehu no sɛ otwede ampo nyame a ɔde yɛ nyinaa ba asase so yɛ muslim a na wɔn hyɛ fugu akyo na agye so ami
la ila
ala yakawo na yakane saa ni yeje no ala yakawo onye dwuma wo yi xyz
eno saa ne de ne kwa omo say la ila la muhammadu rasulullah seru ala ila la
yakun awie o
muhammadu rasulullah
yakun awie
eno saa ne kwa no nye obi udi mu a
yakun awie yakun awie
just like that
but say omai bi a sabe mu mpanifo dwen a wo hospital dey your autopsy ni wi a
ehudi kunwa
yes I investigate if as a result of medical negligence
ene kunwa
awurade nyankopon a
compensation
sikabum ne twam abusua
but not in God
ena wo no so a wo ye ma nipa no wu ye no wo asem mo ne po hwe awo ka mere e wa America ene ko na o ma kire bibia say ye be surgery wo mu CS ne bi ne edan bia ye pia no kosim na me ka say ho ye reception ni pe wo na ma adwuma edan no mu kakraka ntimi ka say wo ye adwuma ho na ma ne ye pia no kosim finfin me wo ho sa na obi abemi adan ho pe na bibia pia ba na obi de sa wo ha kwen na bibia twe fi wiem na obi awo ho ha kwen na bibia beda ho obi awo ha pe na we aba oh obi ha na nato so na me fa me from say can I video say yes I'm say okay don't come closer can you just start talking
no ba ne wa wujina ne nchen
just talk to her
I mean be pamo
see me so afa me hwe me gaga abakakra me so ya wo abruchama me say can I kiss her say yes so you can kiss her
oh yeah
to be
janie
oh bra to be
akrokro no
o da bi sala ma hwe movies ya be hu de o mo ye
usia
eh me na kan ye brodi enu mbo san da ya ne case de o de be ma ho ati bi sa and we share the process now one
smooth
equipment no wo medical equipment no e wo and e ho no say ohia bibia ya adwuma na won fa ma ya obekasa yen ya hai no one and then asem we mi chem miensa one medical equipment ni ho a eti party bi aba power openi po be ni CEO e wo Kolabu nipa be ni CEO e wo Konfanoche party foforo ba openi nipa be ni CEO e wo Reg nipa be ni CEO e wo Tamale Hospital said be ya equipment na wo mo de ye adwuma ni ho so krampa ese ben kasa eti sa Tamale Teaching Hospital papa yi watena nsuo problem no ho one
che
watena hospital toilet facility enya adwuma 2
teaching hospital
watena hospital ukwadunsa utreska 3 watena ho 8 years so he thinks that enfie wotwe kura no na wo something there
3 months na be dedi
so normal I mean why must you talk yet hospital in so bad today so can we go aban na ma se catch her ni sifo no omo ye bi mabo yen se mama ye na wo mebo mo sem se gra
ebe fa ya wo
wo mebo mo he wo mebo mo sem me say wo be da Pentecost 4 by force mebo mo sem adam moja se niema ye de ye adwuma ni ni hɔ a kasa
ye famra de on say see you
no ono ne politics in ne hia no but next person na no won achi no kan yan sesem check mintaka no so the equipment no ko fantastic just akwana nka ke mintaka no
mo problems
ye do ba bia esese ye mra sese ya yete we se judge bi yete wo sese ye se obi ye judge na yese we bu aten na aten na judge na bu no se ewo district court na we mbu ni yi a ye man so the case no ekọ security court security court mbu ni yi a ye de call high court mbu ni yi a ekọ court of appeal appeals court mbu ni yi a ekọ supreme court to kro ma anya yi a ye sa so ye review ba se nurse bi wo pan ye sesi ama ona hono ne ye twa ye de ne kwan asa Gana ye judge o
Gana had ye
okay drive any two car that's why we are petition na car na pempran na okum nipa na so wanwu a police for chino ye na ko gina de kem
processing
a charge no with murder okum nipa ni ye de na tum se doctor be negligence e mo bi wu a ono ye ndan
e wo Gana ha
wo Gana eno ye ndan
men kai amanfo ya o wonam ye nua kofori
oh
ni yere kwa wo so se ya ye no CSA empanye na doctors ni e de ye surgery no e jai wo oba no
ebi kaniyam nti oye de fa so
uwi
very good
ba kola ne tiase
ono ye ne dey
kofori yan kan ya
se journalist at radio so e ka asem na se nye president bi da otumi suma be ye be check CaptainSmart we yi ase
me no nyina ya chi abre
very good
thank you
se nurse no negligence no obi wu a ono ye ne den o Ghana
we are century ni a judge for to make us work cassette ya ni afro sebra ni a jelu
we are soldier ni we are police ni e wo Ghana etuo na ye de ama o se fa koye adwuma no wo to ne pay ni yesi bebu hu akunta
e de be she guard room kra
se wentimi ambutuo no hu akunta yi a ni ya chew ni de what to guard room ni ya interdict ni ya investigate ni ya yiwadi se doctor ni negligence e mo bi wu a e wo Ghana ha ono ye ndan
me say mama example me say oba no ye Ghana ni ye friend Gloria we ye adwuma e wo guys in St Thomas Hospital e wo Westminster e wo London ofidi ne ba koko ene wo de ma akwada na koko no trauma akwada no e ma akwada na ye den ewi nti omu eye sa we no post no mu hu ni say
koko na ku kwa na de koko ma no ne maame odem
thank you oko jail
se ya yete hey
ne obi ya nurse no so asan age ni
TV ye bo yenim hey ekoma obi o CCTV na o CCTV no enso ena o de koy ba screen no e wo ho wo be kore na TV no so na screen na dwa na akwa ne se onye wo de ne koma police fo be ba be che no e de na ko
ka kire se o de ba na screen ye
ba mi bisa wo se doctor bi nurse bi the negligence obi wu a ono ye ne den this notwithstanding say you are doctor for papa wo Ghana ha
omo kwa outside omo ti be inside no
womo ye wo doctors nurses midwives ye wo health professionals papa o kruma yenim bebre refined
doctors lebo money omo no
womo ho but ebinum wo ho a hwe papa ya womo regain license fi ni nsam say oyiyi ema omafu ya kese ya yesu obi ko wu on ho se den mu nsami
3 years ago
very good se ya me no kase ye won krofo bebre gu adem a nurse bi pane ode wo no ne to ahono ne nan ahono atum me ye twan yesi ya won pane boni pane no ya mfa nwo baabi a esese ye de wo hwe madam for police ni baako enam santi or retirement by force Make us a post for inimini. Say, I'm no cate, or to Western region, or to Takrade. Wako hospital say when you malaria. Ena, you see a be one artesunate amodaya queen. Na yamane diclofenac. Aka ho.
Artesunate bliss farm and deba.
Na okwa na wako no nuro kakra no so egu so ma ne ho ato no. Kewo. Se nurse no so fi club na ba yo. So free hin na ba yo. And one say otampane no. Police ni etodwe o say baby odi pane na si no. Eye me yadodo. We me yadodo dem mo no say tu. No dey go baby foforo. Baby odi pane ya we second time eye me yadodo. Na post ni so na usuro pane ya we no wayi. No dey go the third.
Dinewu.
Ene untimi nante ne nan ba akoso.
Post ni.
Yes.
So on Ntim Fordjour na call.
On Ntim Fordjour na call. You are rendered hopeless. You want to disable. Say, Yamana you disable. Prekope. Enti ye ni doctors bebre nti na ye ni nurses bebre nti say obi yes am from so na yenja no kwa na hwe obi baba wadi 30 years when yin say bosome nkono yin say mu amani hunu sa wonda pemfo achi da no pe na meka sa wada pemfo achi da ennabi eni wa eya chense pemfo da wachi sa pemfo da wachi a omufi 7 months ko no na sa wona na dakata kura obeda na beda woni ntimi nkum na abaya na do that stage
30 years
na ya hwe ne say yasin suo eni ho okay no problem the time na ye de ko theater ho no munim se nsuo ni ho say yensuo a eni ho nti ena ma ne wu ya time na omode ne ko na nsuo ho time na omode ne ko no na nsuo no wo ho ena sa kwam
oxygen ne keka ho
okay yesi na kane ni ho na time na omode ne ko theater no na kane wo ho ena omu dum ni time omo ye oba ne surgery na the answer is no ade say yesinti obi pe baby de ade na kohye said be ya ono to say the Adam de ye Eve no Nyankopon ade nde nyame o metimma bi oba na obo ne ka me ho na Eve so say hey masa Nyankopon enyame o eyo wona enye obi amfa nhye no because wo pra na beduru aban so a aban ni obi o de be hye no
asa
nti aban ni owo no woni obi o de be hye no abaya 30 years ye keka ne ho fe no
same near abaya
wakunu
just like that
and that ye can na nkrofo tie che say say ye yi CEO na di enti mpacho wo mo letter bi na wo kan ye no me nsa betumi aka
indefinite we no ye omo demand no
me pese me
Kevin mo san fan
to say letter no say sa wo mo de na number 1 indefinite suspension of all emergency and outpatient services obi a wan ko bia yen di look hwe makacho say ye duru ba bia ho what kind of rollins the time then the see man ko fa Cuba doctors and nurses back
say yeah strike yeah
okay we crowd the strike o what to kuromu a sekane adum a na wo say yen ko hwehwe energy minister senso ma yen ko hwehwe water resources minister so what to kurom na school edan ebu a wo say yen ko education minister what Ghana ha dum so ba na wo hwehwe president but wunua ba wadamfo obi ba obi yire obi maame akọ hospital akọ na yesisi wonu mfiri ho na nipa foforo mra na yehwe na adwuma ne nkwaso a wo say wo kọ was suspended really demonstration oh sir okay kwabra mi ntaka no ni tirimu ye Joma Hama Ojo Mugabi, can you do this and Akufado?
Obesako.
Very good.
Quick.
That is one thing. And no akufa do man fa hundi. Obeji wadi. Ah, oka so ni sika nti ontua na sesa allowance. Oka che kwakwa ma menu. Kwa ma menu otumtu ai. Kono fa to otumtu ai. So man tua. Then see here. Aha. Oh. Teacher training allowance. Oka se sika ni ho. Me du twum pre no so be kwa kotua. Edu twum ontua BBC. Na nipa wu na ye ka e be before ye nwene nipa nkwa ho anope na me ka me wo tama me wo Fox no station back wo kuma say na accident asi reporter no ye azero bus no VIP no kase ni bia de fa 52 no na sprinter no so fa 32 car no bom no nipa mienu pe nyame adom nipa mienu pe na ewu. If he present an interview reporter, I know say, nipa me nipa de uso na wa ya. Bas if nipa 52, sprinter nipa 32, me nipa ewu no. Sada yete ya okurum ha. We don't value human life. Enkwa nshada anya de a ehia ye. Enti wawu a mani wu patcho ma me letter ne bium. O ma de ne bium. Om say avanto so mo say so ma. Om say hwe inpatient care shall continue for our clients currently on admission. Teaching hospital was something you say, one more hot that day. Na fofo na all bado. Me bomb pa say doctors and nurses na yesterday no be entwitwanhwe. Na ehwe de o me. What was ane de o yiraba? What was ane de ukuna ba? What was ane de o maame aba? Drive careless there, post functional. But a whole facility, teaching hospital, penny or dano, mayenka. Last one, almost said a apology from the media houses. Nonsense. Nonsense. Yeah, be patch say when the catch us a video no altar. When the catch us a video no obi altar.
Yeah, don't qualify apologies. From the
minister. When they try video no.
Your mama hona.
Share with the video no so omo back in the year. We who try video no. Omo kan team no think like call no. One hospital hona. One back phone. Na nneema na watch the hono. Enti the what decide now o channel. The what decide now o channel. On the sun to try we it is a wo hwe de yi a wo be hu say won a e twa video no won a wo kro na won a hospital wa eti why na alter video no
ya kan do ne twa na so hin ne twa
na me nkwata me tena cha say obi abodo ho asafo yin wo kro ha na ma reinstate na ma apologize ye hwa yarefo we sini enye say wo maketua na ban si ontua wo. Number 2, enye se bibi asay wo hospital won aban say onye wo. Enye conditions of service wo. Na mum obi anye na dwuma yie
ama obi ba
ewu akobu. Eti wo ensha make yenga.
Well, higher TVS was at an power 97.9 FM. Intino and somebody a doorson yebekwa aba yeba na afie no yede dia kanso ayeden asan ababe to aso ene eye ebena ene eye yawada ti yebekọ victory ni ayeden ni aba intino yekọ wi a yebesan ayeden aba captain wo kakra wo de beka ho ana sana chief birthday
honorable Julius
Debra na mo fa ne dance na nasa no to so ma me
nasa no dia hen dia na
enye kwa wo dia
o da bi onim samunya sa
Onua Julius
Debra o ja onim sa
was papa wo video
o sam ezo pa nasa zonto
me say we dia cha zonto mo da mo fa na nasa no to so ma
o da ma me
oni papa ni ni
ma me wo shedo Honorable Julius Debra, Chief of Staff. Hwe?
We de hwe no.
We aso sad wa wo. Kete no sana.
Kantinga no. What you say? Hwe? We di ase o. We na kekefu, we yentie enwum na di akire.
We o sekete.
Yentie enwum na di akire no.
We kete. Which was a class or Pequanum.
Oh, yeah, champion. Can take on your mission.
Honorable Julius Debra. Happy birthday. I feel my men will say, Amakodia.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Honestly,
Amakodia, yeah. Ghana ni ote abuchi banka.
Oh, okay. If you doesn't know.
Ama papa bi, and your birthday.
Enjoy your day.
Enjoy your day. Mweninje. Juani. And I did your person will be a year.
Bi.
Person Tim. Person pija on pija nine. The obey be a boyaka, Ibetia. Alajo, Chama ho. Yabani abatom si so boyaka Ibetia.
Yes, a boyaka.
Boyaka. Sudama. Happy birthday.
Fantastic. Captain, the
Yamia Shas no baby.
Oh, baby. The baby.
Yamia Shas no.
Pentecost in this year, no.
Oh, maybe there's a Pentecost in there. My yet are fed blue. Free me when ye. Free me when ye.
That's it. Well, but that's the captain. And I hope since Super Johnny na Jumadi no Bibia, kama. Yeah, the Abubosa sa at the amount. And I want that. Epo bosomene that also aduno na wo fimpi no ene aduno enum so afi na wo de wa fili na to high TVS wise etana power 97.9 FM posifu amowo kwabenya fo nyina mpanifo taifa ho mpanifo amowo ho superintendent dompre superintendent dompre champion dompre commander ho nyamisha ho onu to IC ASP akomapa ASP akomapa oba hema akomapa yebo munyina baso monkoso mo adwuma papa sa kwabenya posifo taifa mo bo adwuma papa monkoso sa posifo ni nyina misalutumo ene anwumre IGP mijese woso ene wie tete yehono woso ho ye monkoso mo adwuma ni yie sa emae se kurumadwo na mabia dadin ene ya wede di yenko victory aso yemra babie ma hopes na doye ene CaptainSmart bese sinkonya we ye prelims e di bibi we ye cafe e bi kwam na fe ya ba be sinkonya ye se ne tra TV ni radio so a e di kanfo ni nyina no mo jai no mutie mo jandamfo ni nyina obi etie ko su ntimi he eni ame wakwa ba
Sina Mugabi mejo
bibi aboko de
boko bada nyanza kwa doctor no ye pa
ho efe
okay
fantastic we dey na we free victory my
we are free victory ni nyana se dey aseda edikan won peme Asiedu e de magana fo nyina se machire wodo se si ano Ghana nyina gi atum se we are separating the boys from the men ye kan eduraba Ghana na obibia gi atum na enkofo di ho adanse a na ye victory garlic mixture e duro ba kwa se si ano da se ni bia makra
kingdom or Ghana.
President now or your leader of the executive arm of government, he's always voted for. Now, say president ni niwa, the vice president or swear oath. Exa Ghana flo ni no sign swai biom bedi o mine nim. Now, president or security of tenure of office. The constitution says that you cannot just get up and say that CaptainSmart your president na Casco on pay CaptainSmart asem to share CaptainSmart to Kromo Simetu be the president. We had this there's a process called impeachment that you have to take the president through. If the process says you are guilty, you roll your sleeve and out you go. Exactly. If the process says that you are innocent of everything, you stay. But Donald Trump, America fine yeah. Almost started impeachment process, but he survived.
And now he's not a president.
He survived. Now, what about parliament? You will speaker of parliament. On your toda cry and Tono Swaba. But MPs na you more parliament and 275 MPs no. Omo na represent Ghana. And omo kokoshiem. And omo tuaba. And omo di speaker of parliament. It is speaker of parliament so also what security of tenure. MPB so Ghana habiano say to we say me member of parliament me kwasra me girl kura na me free me girl fie aba many chere parliament a na ye say court sermons ye de be hye me nsem say ya enye ye emra ne say MP a okwakọ ye adwuma ye man court sermons eno ena minority ne ka say Ntim Fordjour no bobo ne ho akọ parliament akọ ye adwuma eno nya bom say bam wontimi nya ne hwe cause okoye adwuma emra ne say so obi ye MP kura na wadi bone watoto okura kum nipa no be bowura parliament and okọ ne fie kura na oba parliament na police for pen natural statement emra ne say yen tro krata ankoma clerk of parliament na clerk mwachire nkoma speaker na speaker mpe date non kancha Ghana police service say enne na metumi release MP no mana betro ne statement sa statement woni be be etro no you try no speaker office. You find MP in police station. Speaker of parliament. Speaker, no office ho. Ubetina ho. No lawyer tna won chain. Na watch ho. The legislature. Good. That's the legislature. Fantastic. They all enjoy security of tenure. We are now about judiciary led by the Chief Justice. Now watch this. Chief Justice Yantono Swaba. Appointino. No converting. Our parliament na Ghana for yina yeto abama wo no and be approving no on all Supreme Court judges. Fantastic. So watch this. Chief Justice and so our security of tenure of office. Want to mean sorry aputupuru say we president na wo bo ni dinti. We say mapamo debi yenye sa. And rather say as a so go through a certain process. And so what to me daddy. Now watch this. Say Chief Justice be a tenure no. President or appointee no. Obet me the president we eja ohako. Because enye co-terminus. Eti President Kuffours na ball ye maame Georgina Wood din. Ama na be Chief Justice mwa. Yeah. Odi we no say President Kuffours koy. Because Georgina Wood any President Kuffours tenure of office no enye co-terminus. Enti Georgina Wood stay office. And a President Kuffours koy. And a Professor Mills bae. Oba no beto Georgina Theodora Wood. Ono nso ye adwuma. Professor Mills Wuja no. Ema 2012 no kura ende ye. Major Mama be winning elections. Georgina Wood wane Professor Mills anko because only Professor Mills womo tenure no enye co-terminus. Owie ye no obeto John Dramani Mahama. Emma Mahama lose 2016 elections. Kono wane John Mahama anko because womo tenure no enye co-terminus. But time be a Chief Justice uba misconduct wohono, you are saying that your tenure is co-terminus with the president who appointed you. So this time we are not talking about anything. We are talking about misconduct. Let's say this. Last week you buy me chiro baby a omo drafte Charlotte say letter na di na di Jubilee House baby ana proposal office wono office baby ana sa office no wono a proposal kwetena mu no e ho na omo drafte ta letter no Jubilee House I mean can say proposal na drafte here by no office but there be sad dining no kwetena ye de ne call as the political head my chief of staff no sad dining ebi omo drafte yansa oba ebi so obeton yansa here drafte whichever there was a draft but I sad dining any di Charlotte say ono so nana do hu say bibi eni asase so obetimi dey no agye misconduct because Charlotte said tenure no enye co-terminus but the omo who say ye misconduct no omo de wo ma minute ko. Now watch this. Chief Justice Emran say we nya bawudin ya approve pe SSA we submit bibia ye friend some Sadia no can say we ko do properties say ko no ye fe say we submit we japade a wo no Oh, me a feed in this year. Asset declaration. Thank you, Minia. Esa will declare what assets. Now watch this. Asepa for ehu say ma me na be chief justice. Wabro bosome. Bosome mienu. Bosome nine. Or kwafe. Ma Misaki. Mrs. Tokunu on declare the assets. Wow. And omo tro letter Ntim.
Command.
E copy ma me no. No mo be call Shraj. Say Shraj. Mo investigate here ma me. Na mo kan kire say on declare
Thompson.
Yes.
Afasepa.
On declare the assets no and Ntim. Enfie when declare assets no. Wow. And a Shraj. E ka chen say on fa the response mra as chief justice. When him say Shraj so won say no. Why do me also your chief justice wo so? But Shraj a commission into be any control. E wo mo so. Wo mo so commission Shraj commissioner no. Ono so the tenure of office no enye co terminus. Into president bi betimi aboni din wo be ko not ho. So am a short. Otrache. Anke short. He had a long. Meanwhile, his name is short.
Yeah, but Ujadimpa.
Eto. What much more, my man? When the response of the commercial Raj? Or say COVID-19 in went to declare the assets.
Declaration of assets.
Oh, bra. Fair
Chief Justice.
Mensa Thompson. Mopa mon friend says, and I'm Sasma making me boy.
Was it COVID-19?
Or say, my minister COVID-19 about 2020 no. And until I'm an NTM declaring assets.
This is appointing in 2019.
And also COVID-19 no went to declare
now a Japadia was say Bisawa untimi and Listowel Japadia. So
Ghana for sure listen. And Mrana oh. You see, CaptainSmart are not so sad day. PokuMugabi are not so sad day. One untimi chesu a change Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
No one is
Constitution is declare your assets as an Article 71 holder. Mamina the reason or the commercial charge and say COVID-19 inti. It is so big as say COVID-19 inti. The BBS say o how can you argue with that person? That's right. But this is misconduct. Enti yem fan say Yama Chief Justice no ono na tena ohwe power atemuafo a titiri wotena Supreme Court cases so. Enti yem fan say ni busuani bi so ono so declare ne assets. Na case no kwa through High Court through Appeals Court na ebedu Supreme Court ha. Pacho aseme no beka ho. Because me am na me Chief Justice man declare na wo wan declare na ye den na ye book constitution no enimtia. So this is clearly misconduct. It has nothing to do with criminality. This is purely misconduct. Enunti ena enkrofo petition nanado constituency executive member baako e won kan he ya kan won petition akufado say onyi mami tokunu no letter na nanado Troy Coma Council of State delikiye ntime wo copy say Council of State enhwa asem na say ebo ne be yi a winning time na asem ne kobaye no BBC ye wo mo tro financial malfeasance sankrofo no feel say enyame wo tro petition no feel say wo manya information from the Judicial Service Office of the Chief Justice say they think that there's some kind of financial irregularity bia akoso ewo ho enya kwentro ne keke wo. There's a 10 million Ghana cedis case bia ebeba so. Hey, wait, you see, that's what I'm saying, that the issues that we are talking about, and I am so very much happy about the composition of the committee. Wow. President has said no. One shall won't tears here. Soja ni bi wom obi bebu sa won say why an army officer and a work committee a Chief Justice say yes ye be yina na say ye nyina. When the entire soja ni no ho.
Fabiko
nkrata bi twemu ho.
Nkrata bi eden.
Etwemu ho. Nkrata bi ɛyɛ kɔna pass etwam ho
o soja fo no
nti ɛsɛ soja ni bi ɔno nso nim kratam ɛbɛm na watimi ahwɛ me hu sɛ we deɛ ani ɛyɛ soja fo we ɛfɛyɛ ho we ɛmfɛyɛ ho now when him dey tell the double level call here
so no so auditor general
because there's an audit report so you need an experienced auditor
to go through
the audit report now nanado woman man no evidence of
Charlotte was saying
justice yeah CJ yeah you know
okay
who you know I think the time is too short to do this.
Okay, saying
we're going to plunge this country into chaos, and I think that we need to hold on to make sure that we finish with the elections. And when we are done with the general elections, we can then sit down and then look through the matter.
Take care.
And then for in the meantime, I suggest that we should let us say and we'll finish the elections.
Nana Kyei, CaptainSmart,
because external auditor no. Sanya mahama time no your audit no.
There be o.
Oh yeah, no what time?
Anado.
Mo. It is a ye catch external auditors. It's a monko audit chief justice na chere say nanado na ban ho na chere say.
It's assembly ho.
Very good.
Eboboba.
Enti enya mahama ho.
Ujoja.
What we are talking about is misconduct.
Uja.
It is not the president. And you see, me lawyer, so I am appealing to me now for a lawyer for the say, I have issues no. We should try to decouple or divorce politics from national issues.
Yeah, it's very, very important.
These things, a serious matter. Law school for the best there. So as I say, ye buy a seminar ye. Pacho, say Chief Justice Okunu. Very good.
Husband.
So Oba. Very good. Pacho Nikunu or a judge?
Dabi.
Okay. Nikunu or a bailiff?
Dabi.
Okay. Nikunu or a court clerk?
Dabi.
Okay. Nikunu or a circuit court supervisor?
Uja Dabi.
Okay. Or a vacation judge?
Uja Dabi.
Okay. Nebaba no or interpreter or court?
Uja Dabi.
Okay, now watch this. Woman man say so pese otu kwanya. Ah? Esese eye ono. And an executive secretary and a buy bebo mohoka teniye say official
unim
tripper and it is stated clearly as I say ono and in the secretary and a buy no bebo mohoka. Number 2 say a bibia a judicial service in pennyphone a 2 coin I would to me 2 coin. Eko miambi akwhwe sede de ma kɔ ne ade ni ade a
ba me fa hoka
esese ono nso no ɔtro na ya approve say ne office ne mu enipa wo ho de bi judges ne bi ekasa official trip no ho na ban atuaka. Okay, wo ko private akwantuo teniyo private akwantuo that has nothing to do with Abai. It was not official because a official as a wotro. It's answer any official anti one tro. And Wakufa do audit report no more.
And yet we impo.
And all kono and of far nikunu ka ho. And of far neba e ka ho. Ne baba and ne peso. And a boom.
Modia Bansika.
And a omo business class.
We see any baby any pabako. Utiminya impad demo jujo home.
Etnemu.
Unini and body.
Poor waba. Wow. According to the report, though, Minia. Oba no pay them $10,000 to Dukunu. Onua nkasa $10,000.
$20,000.
Nebaba no $10,000.
$30,000.
Okay. That time na okoye no na dollar ni 16 cedis. 80 pesos.
Almost 17.
Nti you the infant say 16 yen di egusu ne nche. na kyerɛ sɛ wɔn kɔ ba ɛne ka ne nyinaa akyi no nipa baako bi akwantuo baako ɔkɔ baeɛ no ɛmfasoɔ onya yɛ wɔ akwantuo no mu a yɛfrɛ no per diem no ɛyɛ 1.6 billion
one trip.
How? I mean, how? Look, how? How? How would you do this? No, I mean, some of the things in the audit report, I will not sit here and say them. I think that committee would find their own way. You remember, say, Umupia Assembly Coma, Council of State.
Okay.
So she appeared. Okay, Council of State, what's this kind of betrayal? If she had spent the money through the due processor, do you think she would have opted to pay?
As a judge.
Voluntarily.
As a way out of course.
She says, I will pay. So why would you pay?
We will be in your same sana koko to kano can say
yes, I mean, why would you want to pay that money?
Of course,
if indeed you spend the money based on due process, why would you want to pay? Why would you want to pay? You don't have to pay. The only thing you can say is that, yes, I followed due process.
You defend yourself.
This money, here, there, so. But now you are saying you pay. Send it close to no ya benjuma. Send on also ya benjuma. So you leave another buying office to another buying office for enjoyment. Why?
Do my bro.
When him share, Nina no etimi akosu because in this country, we have a lot of unclean hands handling holy issues. There are a lot of unclean hands in this country handling very, very holy issues. People were doing things in this country with total disregard. They had no respect for anybody. They thought that they own Ghana. They thought that as a Adiana Ekosubiano, somebody up there at the epoch is doing same. So if I do same, what is it? Let me just do that.
DNBC.
Yes, DNBC. So now watch this. Look at how or answer how you can just say that this person is a Ghanaian. Or say birth certificate. Yet mean you should birth certificate. Emma yen kasa wo ye Ghanaian. Because birth certificate no o maami din ene o papa din ene wo so o papa ye Ghanaian o maami ye Ghanaian me aya wo me no pacho me ye Morocco ni
free Tunisian so.
You see, so sometimes I feel that we should start wiping away the unclean hands holding some kind of holy issues in this country. Look at number 3. How this Speaker of Parliament and Adia issues no echo here. Let me say this to you. A lot of people don't know. Now not the friend between them. Ask her. I go find the so
on the speaker there.
Oh. Edu baby in that time. When was that time?
So defend the by.
And I was at that time. To the point to say case be a bind the court to be a ODBM.
Ma the then national security.
Would I try me about before that nankophobia kasa our cabinet. Me about one more cabinet meeting no ma cabinet meeting no mo call ya omufi mu ba ya kandapa ebe make his statement no sa cabinet meeting no ma was here. The old boy was angry, the Nado was angry
at the meeting
that some of the cases or no akura no hemo to say where they ready for. How did this happen?
Somehow.
Then a whole national security minister, listen, Uko America ne kase obi a chief security own. Chief. Enye yan fe dia grow.
Boys, UK. So
the whole Ghana Bambo Yina
National Security
Minister or 2 coordinators.
Francis PokuMugabi.
And the coordinators know what 1 deputy each. Tinipa 4.
And
so more security meeting national security meeting can the party na do beche na ba umia tena ni nifa na can the party na ni bonkum. This is can the position oba bontin be can say the judges no eye no
kachire o mampo
the judges no eye no
ehu
a threat to national security. Say I bind the case be a quarter. Now yeah, one way. Who was then the Chief Justice? None of response here.
When it doesn't.
When him say, apart from military takeover, are they a team man to question communities pa attention? Say you bu attention on. Yeah, say asase kura afia wunim pass wasase ni. Na ye do court.
Genuine
documents. Na ye bu kom katasese, ye bu kom na ye gi asase ni fi wunsema etesen.
Yeah. Boka ye de ma.
Boka. Na ye ko dwiri wudanya to agu kwa.
Yeah.
When him say time na ye checheme no and I can say ye cheme baako judge baako a womun na wie I'm sorry womun na kasa. So the idea was that ye dey me force ro no the plan say judge no on remand me. Me try me kwaye ku wo okay eti judge no me lawyer no sorry here bafo
yeah
any lawyer Samuel Sapon sorry omokasa wie and the prosecution the prosecutor was there no on so national security akwabi
ya chi abro
ono so sorry ye kan asem ni nyina on sa wokasa wie na judge no wesi ni tias na fe otro no abeka and odani nani no catch the police no one say bring the handcuff he will remand him.
Prosecutor no?
Yes, in an open court.
Wow. So
I was like, so me share no
remand CaptainSmart.
And a woman in so I done any here na nti metina lawyer back say you are talking too loud. How can you say judge nesinitiase so be 2 case na shadow so be you nobody has heard the verdict of the lawyer and the judge now what me catch police and say blah 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 remand no come bring the handcuff he's going to remand him judge ni super judge here or said the accused have been granted bail to appear certain dates yes 2 sureties to be justified 2 sureties to be justified no HSA yanko hwe ofie ene casco fie na mo mam bail nya no ano no ade na judge no ema pronouncement no 10:42 am no
e be di 10
ebo 6:40 then say afi the court na pon
mbekepo
ena omudi mi chin enkan abonte so
twaso
mi hu bi da
kai na speed
ya de mi nam GH boy so to me nchen ena national security sirens hope you do omutria no mufi wa na sa no man ko bi agum no me de me nam afei na me GH boy me say hey je so empanish wo mo you do baby am say medun so no mo gina ti e gina sa wonju so we nam say wo she me mu me say medun so or you want to shoot me
tell me nyon so
so mutu kan e kwa kakra me say medun so edu baby wa say o mam jo nam say wonju so a medun so ka yi me sesi am wo hu na afei wa say gina what happened? Somebody told a senior person B, and that senior person also told another senior person B. They had wanted to transfer the judge. Why? Because judge now and remand me. You know what can be every 1 year. There was another female judge. At time I can't say Galamsey, they said the AC corner. The presidency is involved in Galamsey. And also you have a chime. Can a pama have a chime? Yes.
Oh, funeral.
Oh. Me also am here national security for baby ginger. Me here am starting semester. Some no my mother. To me say the operation here no. Eti me hu ya we ye na se wona ana me ka kire madam for abene ko say minti na mo ha no. No so debi. Ah, na say na Saturday. I'm so de hwade e.
Echiwa na jwa de be de no akokasa.
Ana me sorry ana me call mo nchen.
Otete wo mo.
Ana me ka kire mo say minie.
Munye ne boko.
Ana mo say can the pass and famra. And I'm so okay. Meant me for fugu nkwada sell. Eti monfa me fie. Na me mfa t-shirt na yenko. And indeed they followed me
to your house.
Me don't be Jina Tantra Hills. No, I'm so be wura me fie na me so wura me bi nkrama no.
No. Je o magun.
Me nka cho say me dwane. Because me ndi awu me nya boni bia. At the boni na ekoso tia o man no na me ka ho asem.
No ho chie no.
And me kofa me shirt. Na me two perfume gu me ho fine. Ti me bedu me car no, me bedu ho no mo se me nto mo car na me se nan niama. As if se me ntimi nto petrol. Wuje we won't me share me boni amaye. For you to totally overhaul me into your car. It is a wopa, momo bi metna me nchen.
Yenko.
Na yenko, me metum ka.
Period.
Na me freka ndapa. I'm so far. What's one say ya meche me o say an ntini o momra. Na ye Saturday one kasa na o say ya nchime mra no where are you? O si bi ni ho ngukuma say. Kana pam o si me bua o me kanchem sem bua.
Offer.
Oh, bisa no.
He might need this year. Ko abere ni.
At the end of the day no. Edu baby no say afase. You know this our job. The powers that be. The powers that be. I had no option than to instruct the guys to come and pick you. Senior, Saturday I actually yes, I call national security.
Imagine.
Your mom was so pa. Any Nima police station. And I'm a take
from
Tantra to Nima.
Police station be any hoje.
You didn't buy Nima.
I just wa ben.
You didn't do one Nima commander and say
Nima
commander and say on Jimmy. And then I demand a transfer no. Because they are chemi santi say CaptainSmart to chena from police be
Odi asempa.
Yes, and me tena kem. Papa Medina.
Allah.
You ko Medina, almost Medina sell so ayema.
From Tantra to Medina.
And I feel sanity there.
You came what tesa no.
Sanity there. Omo de me ba.
My 7.
Osuha baby. It's hey baby police be sha baby. There will be a hospital be one. Cantonment then say cantonment then say hofe. E wo kira baby. And then also you ko change our sa enye yi. No me say sanity there. Yanko national security for office o. Na yakọ park here. Chief. Yes, ho si. And I'm say adey.
My den.
I'm say afi there. Yanko na me nko statement. Oni me be am tam de me ko. I'm send me coffee. Na me kodai.
Oh.
Adwada mapo adwuma. Ne mu say maya bi ne nam ho na me say maya we mu. Omo ye no ma maya ho a be hwehwe me. Eye mintia. Na me ko ba ko na me ka say me na wo hwehwe ba say wunim na wo get too close am do nyame. Moja be nwunu. Oh captain, you have to take it easy. You know we are doing our job so you have confirmed. So you are from the national security. Chime.
Wow.
And on the twa mu ko ye. Thursday, Mapu Adjuma Rambo style
of arrest.
Jubilee House in Chain. When him say you cannot arrest anybody less than 200 meters from the presidency at gunpoint. You are not supposed to do that. It's tantamount to coup d'etat because anybody around can also hold a weapon and fire. What will happen to the president? And because these guys are party boys, they were not trained. They know nothing about national security. The architecture has been vandalized and it's been thrown out of joint. And your mom is so pa. Jubilee House in Chen home wow. And you me call NI before no officer
Ka ko didi na.
Etuo. Nti akwa no betena car no clock etuo na mse chief. Ma menka asem we nkyere won ne wo me kai. Guy and say Debbie send me WhatsApp. I'm saying, look, let me tell you this. Maybe you think I'm CaptainSmart sitting on radio and TV. But there be a 2-day kuta minimum to change. Eti say two now. Wako car ni mu. Wo beto. Toyota Fortuner glasses in now was ro. Wa betina front where you two akoke wo beto.
Na be.
I say oh Debbie na ina nam say that wo meto dia. And the fashion ho anya sami movie car no. Some can say no must have CaptainSmart reinforcement to say now about 18 of them wielding AK-47s and pistols. Now criticizing. Eti car be for Jubilee House eba. Now for who the air koso. Inti say me am here dinam so no. Mamingum. No man me question. Me do what am say me nikum meda. Am say hey. Am say me hey. Meda. Akonya na de ma me na me to mu na me.
That was your man ma me na na you know.
Me die. Says what. And I'm penny for the buy. Then come over for. Yes, me consign bill na me consign. Monday yan court. Near the call or by judge bi o. E ka say komu yi ma me na di.
On so ma bill.
Yes.
Yes, more.
You see, this is the kind of judiciary I am talking about. But you'll be a friend vicarious liability. Papa when I tell for me ko apam secondary school. We man ko bium.
Wachira de na.
Sesi ya yeto wi. Se wo me ma betena ha ya me nya adwuma wo ha yi. Boso so anya ha na yetua meka. Wo papa ma no yi mika. Na men ka asem ya. Enya no koremfa obi hu. 1 ye besiu me. You be see
as a host.
Ni assess you company no.
Yes.
Aka ho. Then tin yesu company no. Company no na my platform no. It is a judge be ya dia enya. Why one yeko? But you kwen?
Asa.
Yeah, Chief Justice wo. Na say Chief Justice na mu ne misconduct no ho a.
Asa.
Afi asem ni sia ye de kwen.
Bia bi.
It's not NPP company for Nikro Yuna Kanda Parka say the way I buy ADB more court Bebrebeno a threat to national security.
Catch the judges NPP before. Judges in MP before no mutimbi moti. Baby I yedru no ho. Me I think say ye ma me ahonfe. Obapa any kwan say Oma obeko why lucky kura say yes you ntwa ma TV so me your president me can be bia oh
no go to
constitution me
constitution article
ne say
was it in
camera constitution na fetish time no offer sika na constitution no when offer oh yes anima na constitution no well you see you do baby a won as I said we need to adopt certain diplomatic democratic military strategy diplomatic democratic military strategy to certain things because almighty America Guantanamo Bay dey no mote here Guantanamo Bay o man te say ye ko dua bro ho wodi nsamfo na ye ko gya watu bay nim say ground am America jo as we speak obekwa kwatena ho you are suspended look she will not come back
maybe
as a chief justice no me say me ni kuna kametunifu ma resign committee o commission o the author nyanto the otu nyantua your excellency I have resigned honorably asem no emfa na asem ko enti medem anusi no mesre John mama owie pe onko jemensa so ompam no
onko ana bi nka no
oh say nana do set president no to ho ye pam only 2 deputies neko enti opam jemensa onfa 2 deputies din kana
bossman ne apia hene
bossman and apia hene enko the reason is that hwe omem ha yet no ho yetimi wo say
ayasemo
asema na kan obi onyira di
Onye Jemensa.
Onye Jemensa mecha nipa fofo so nsan yinadi. Na sa John anyi wo madu obete pega okruma. Ah mon kan kire no.
Oja.
Ah, watch this. We are easy boss. And here you declare results.
Elections said they declare a polling station.
We fi polling station now wo ko hin.
Constituency coalition center.
It is a free coalition center. Is it legal or is it illegal?
I see what they are illegal.
Okay.
There's no place to anything.
Oh, okay. Say illegal they are. Illegality a cause.
Oh, 2024.
2024 elections we mun enough grounds. Say ke Jemensa ba no one kasa tender in resignation. Okofie dada. Under your watch, it will pay nipa 8.
I say bibia aya waso wagon by
a normal
by elections.
Kaswa 2024. It will pay nipa 2.
Our commission normal.
A normal.
Okay.
Anambwa.
I didn't see that.
Easy mobile metric verification machines. Ayira. Na ede na muhu.
Normal.
Enu ya de to aba ne bi. Na wo he.
Ni asem.
Ah, se de to aba ne bi a. When a verify who say na vote nguso.
To abi.
Se am fan to aba ne bi a, adenti ne yakra machine aba de beto aba no 1 to bi. We nko aho yetimi yinadi.
Ablekomanof besine ni MP.
Sir, okay sir.
4 years.
Omanya MP da.
Omanya representative in parliament.
Where sa na we nyina timi koso because yenya president a ode abotra ni trimodin bu oman. Na da ye benya sa kwa me nkroma strategy ni bi. Abotra trimodin kan ho e dangerous che obi ojo.
Je bi lan kwa do ye omu.
Abotra trimodin nipa no wa abotre. President Kuffours fra mi Otumfo. O kan se mienu na che me o se kwadwo na me se papa. O se wiase niam mienu na eya. Kwase ya bekum yansani.
Kwase ya bekum yansani. Eya.
Se obi ya kwase ya. Se otimi ho sa kwa we po jo ho ya kwase ya.
Bekum yansani.
Na ese yansani bi na ho. Akwai. Akuno.
Bodamfo ne de ababo bitirima kono. Ati wase.
Akuno noko. Baby a yedru sese wo krum ha no. Ese se another advisor President Kuffours ma say etoda muna wutirim na sere ewanim
akomemu no
na ye adwuma no ye na fise asase so ye wei nso hye bie ni asase so a efa nipa
so nyuno na fa nipa
won epo ehye bofo bia ni so no epo nso no
tiase
enu ti no baby a yedru no senior yenyi NDC ntonchen yemfa NPP ntonchen na yembisa ye ho one simple question say ade ya Chief Justice ye
yana
sanke ya American ke be kade
ode mesiwa
ode sia
Madam Inua CaptainSmart as from Onua TV hosting Adoyen so at live on TVS YZ and also on Power 97.9 FM. Yavas like I say from Medimosis Clinic and Eba Center Madam Makan be near the Jumedi Ebro medical capsules at the Aba Idjaso Nipeduanu Moja Betime di Nipeduanu Mafusa ni ye broni beka se blood circulation that is a medical capsules ni bina wase winya bobo e manu mema pibi na ntumi emwa na boost the immune system no na niam ntumi konkan ema prostate na tete wo menua be ma sexual weakness male and female infertility hypertension diabetes sciatica typhoid fever malaria stroke and all dental problems fani na kodan Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center mo dental barrier omni police station no na edi enhwani mu ewo AESL building inside the Ghana Highway Authority yard ewo Accra Ministry subi ho mo ho aje kojo omni school for the deaf ne di enhwani mu na Kumase ahenema kokoben oboase santase kwantempo so won subi ho mo ewo ho for Dr. 0244 068447 0244 068447 ofra Dr. Ebejo so Safari Valley Eco Resort omosebra ene hey Easter yi na chese esewani ensese kachire wo wudu aso wo wildlife experience jata sebo antelope si eni zebra omoko na omoba yewo electric car bus edu besim na jato gas no so di akire na yede ohwehwe forest ni bibia mu waba bedu fie no so no yama hotel papa biada aduane a obedi enso de kama local and continental dishes ni nyina yese serve bi ɛwɔ hɔ saa nso ɛna wo ne family ne kɔɔ ya mo wɔ mo swimming pool kama ɛsa wɔ mo gym wompe wei na wopɛ deɛ yi wonya bi wɔ baabi a Jesus Safari Valley Eco Resort hɔ na abɛhu mo wɔ Dew ɛwɔ Eastern Region Okre constituency from 05969143994 05969143994 ofra omobejo so power specialist about hospital yema me adu ya na free what the hepatitis ye A B C D any ye no 100 ye otine say te fatty liver sciatica prostate netete wo menu abema unom peni baby na attach my ulcer na say components minim fibroid e ma no mututu minikai na mo fo nchire power specialist about hospital kuma say yo fe ya say like some continence putu ja kwan so wo ni hu ye ho pe ye ne Jezbo filling station na edi enhwe ni mu kuma say ho na obi hu ye wo bank so ye kwabenya PokuMugabi CCP kwantempon so takrade wa Anaje Estate oye ben Anaje MA Primary School no fen 0244 544-422 0244-544-422 Victory Garlic Messe free Dr. Mwakon Sebra pebinom na moja ntimi ni pedue ni mo free sani ye pebinom obi a wontumi ni die wonu ato obru ni beka loss of appetite wonya bi na oboba etimi bo ye papa oye opemfo a mesre o mennom obi wonya mfie du nse kono oye oba otimi no me bema nso otimi no bi oba ko mfikira no aya se bo dwedwe wonya Victory Garlic Messe ni bi no ma ebetumi aboa wa bo adwuma amani pedua na gina ne naso wosi ananse achemi ananse ofin obi wure ni pedua no wonya Victory Garlic Messe ni bibi bwa ni nyina honam no ebegina na naso kama for doctor ewa 0201 293280 0201293280 and 0242 545633 0242 we do Asari joint ewo Kingsby roundabout oba pajwa ene ne djuma yefo nyina omo bia tumse kuha oba pajwa we bia tumse kuha o se bro ma inkinkum me hwa life wone eye CaptainSmart oba pajwa kwesi ade ba bedi eye akatoa ba kono mo friends revre ye beba bedi revre nkwan nyame adoma Sunday oba pajwa joint wo no ese Sunday obo revre nkwan ho nti ye de ni be kire ho sanso na Sunday kebab wo so waso ye ho aye chacha munyina na kapu wo so wo eye nkroma flat wo eye nkra kapu the champion kapu ye cha munyina se mo hwe Mr Grant wo kaneshi wo so so wutie woni eje eye CaptainSmart ho hopes in swat na se sabre meje mu dia mano na ono so atoa eye so every baby a menua CaptainSmart edit CM hopes.
Yes sir.
Rapenye yangoye
me da say Yamame justice Tokonu. Nsia wono 11 September 1962.
Okay.
And wo hwe na year ebra wodwane ayeba 14th May 2004 ana yadeno ko High Court.
Wow.
Na wo hwe honum up to 2012 John Jekum Kuffours and appointing ko ana John Mahama ana John Mahama a man so free High Court at the Appeals Court
Mamino
2012 yes October 2012 to December 2019 ana Nana Kuffours a man so from Appeals Court at the the Supreme Court on so a year 2019
yeah
2019
but to be more Supreme Court.
That's right. Tama oko High Court no afi pepepe ana Justice Bafu Boni eko Supreme Court.
That was 2008.
Bafu Boni ko 2005 when 2004 na yade no call High Court. Ana
Bafu Boni then I think say 2008.
No 2005.
Okay,
Kyei Kuffours time 2005. And what no eko honum. Eti utimu se watena ho ache. Answer mami ba. Eti se ye nominate you from the Appeals Court to Supreme Court. Wakwa to senior for Justice Poorman as so ko am say 2015.
Yeah.
Any ade.
Muntetre 2016 what subi.
Ya de wako 2019 na pa ya yo chief justice. I'm so worried. I'm so worried. Eti wo hwe ade na wotimi say ye call by rules of engagement ewo how ye select ayina seniority na do baby a atuguba ye nyina no because say no wo di animu aye sign no ho e de kokoma nipa foforo so ne je no na ke say atuba and the chief justice ade ye twa no ho am say omode ma Sofia Kufu so enti saa nneoma we bi ana etoda ema oman ne ye den ye nko ye nim na ma ye brief ayi kakra Tokonu Efri Winneba in the central region of Ghana. That's right. Enti what the make na wo connect dots no ne kai ka ho. Enti afenyo timi issue rate on 12 noon. That by 2 ni aye Monday ni etie. No bi susu di akwakoda ho no mosumi mienu mosumi miesa ni emfiu ni ade no. Sa pepe. Enti sa what is say Winneba powers. A federal market said ya bre defending na just wa hu baby free wa NPP a federal market yeah no hu baby free so on ya no eti say ma me ne esi ana so esi nde ye ya na me mpese meko into that you say ebia we say after all in the line of President Mahama left from baby edible baby so on ya no time bi anim nti time bi anim me nko ka say wo sa party we na say wo sa party sana bi mu ntie sa na wo hwe yese wo ne ye ene usuban ana ebe ya de no yese wo ho fe de obeko na usuban de obeba so ho ne tie no yes wo ho fe de wakọ obi a jatum say yes we chief justice wo tutu nua kama ne mbom wo ne ye bi ne ye no ebi ni sei wo hwe kwan ya ofa so ebra na o mo hwe sa election related issues na tadio sorry ya we raise issue against one of the panel members a wo ka kire o mo say sa papa ya woti hwede ayi wotena so bia enyeye adenti no wotena so bia enyeye because wa contested as MPP parliamentary candidate in one of the constituencies in Volta region eti wotena so bia enyeye wokita the poster ebra wo contest ye ni poster me say asem na wo kana na to chief justice no presiding oh Mr. sorry we've heard enough it's okay sit down hey lawyer ni jina wani mu kasa enti mando kwan kran na go wie mo we sa video ni ma me sese a whatever so production team mando kwan na ka won kasa wie because we raise serious allegation against one of you. Eti wamo just one example you can say evident. Wo twaso just what twaso obe expose wo muntino. And the man nka sakra. That we shutting it down. Look, one of the basic year as I say Chief Justice would say will be to me a control with temperament. Say we Chief Justice and I say okokonya. How can you run the judiciary? Say obi can have some legitimate concern. Now womanenka obe shutting it down sadie. I don't think say fair. Eti enu ebetimi aye one of the reasons in there among for so now hwe send ye o se ye no e wo court ho na clearly no you can state it as misbehavior so on no enu no free ho no mo ana ya bobo so say ehu sika sem ne ne kaka ho now you see I don't know ye kiremu ye. Now when it comes to travels ye were official travel and private travel Nidina is captured. The official travel no wo kwa and then there wo kwa with your security detail so that you know state and the fahoka say wo kwa private traveler and no state efa won kwa wo hoka sa audit ya omuye ya oka say wo use skabi no na ege official travel. It was a private travel. Wanene kuno ne ba no. Na private. No makwaje per dem. Makwaje ho per dem. $10,000. Mo yi at the point kra no. Ye say do mo ho no mo no. O san free kra mo sa change ticket no to word BBB o mo upgrade from business no. E ba no call first class. What I say. No kwa na o mo upgrade e ba no call first class no. O mo say $9,000 in addition. They take it. Yes. Bomb in a car. Adia, Chese, Auditor General na a capture sadi we no.
Captured in the Auditor General's report.
Report.
But bisa Auditor General, why Auditor General some year can?
Eh, Nana Kufa.
I don't much them ye. Now we are quite some Mahama. Auditor General.
Auditor General.
Auditor General.
I don't know some no be a chest.
And then no ankasa kra no, but they say Judicial Secretary no, e call for that audit. And no mo aye a che say ade na ba. Na edru baby a afa we say sa 9,000 na wo mo ye na additional ne de obetua. Fidie na cho.
Papa nka obetua.
Fidie na yi no.
Ayi no. Just what the tell question mama na so no.
The course wire no.
Yeah, ehim. Just what twin ko baby amfa. The mere fact is say wajia to mu say. The mere fact is wajia to mu say. Oh, I didn't mfa kwa mu. Eti metua ne bag no. I set it ground. Yes, on my buy. I'm a boy, it is finished.
It is what?
It's finished. It's finished.
I'm gonna see.
It is finished. You see, these are some of the things. What say? Adamungo God. Almost un fidie na to. So on the no. O kokotena so. What would they no? Supreme Court judge say oh am so me 14 say. Emu 2 pe. Ana bako every President Kuffours na bako free John Mahama.
Ya kanyina na don go for.
12 na kanyina President Kuffours. Ebra wa appoint omo say hey who package judiciary no wodim ni opese wo ye. Because omo said the next 20 years no they should have total control in the judiciary.
Atia fashion.
So they no. We go kwatena
Unim dintia. I mean try no tell me. Why Nanado nene team no episode will take you over judiciary. Let me tell you something. So as a result of this
book we did in captain.
Murder in the palace at Chebi.
Murder in the palace
at Chebi.
Aye.
It was written by one ACP H.A. Niama.
We are book on Ache.
Oh, Ache. Okay.
That's the name of the name of
time na war pay. Also, there were 3 arms of government.
Yeah.
Now your executive, your legislature, your judiciary.
Yeah.
Now, executive no. Now mu fi sa abrofo be dan ama JB dankwa. Abrofo na anye. And there's a book a wire. Na abrofo no mpene se JB dankwa. Betime di o man name. There's a book which they know. Because now abrofo no nim se JB dankwa a traitor. Odi di kwa me nkoma ho nkwansa na CIA fo etua ne ka
America
through American embassy. Chokwa no akwaje kewu. To mo chi ni tum kura na na sika ne nko no. Oba no kwa American embassy ambassador no so ekobusa say why are you not paying me?
Kudin sekuru.
Enfa no to ho. Eti executive ni fi wo monsa. Kwa me nkoma fi Western region. Waba Accra. Abeji ododo aboso. Ema JB dan kwa ma people teacher. I cannot to form say team.
Even in prison could all be.
Eti when nya executive arm of government no. When nya judiciary. Then afterwards no, JB Dankwa was defending this case.
Murder in the palace at Chebi.
Okay. And then they realized that say nya executive. Then nya legislature there.
Judiciary no.
Ye judiciary one there.
Yamfa.
You bet me up well them.
Apake ho.
Afa hodo said ye yepe. Nti efi enakui no. Krachi ni bia wo ye yebusuan mu.
Ose o yellow.
Wo ahemfi ha no. Ese o yellow.
By force. It's a mafia.
Ese o yellow. Because ni na kogruba ye the aban case beba court.
Obeye merenimfo.
Ni na kogruba ye the legislature asem no ye the beba court. Nti yen so yenji judiciary no emmo so. And inside this book bet so mu twa sika to one mu tua bribes for cases. Dem na make am
book no neka.
Another day story.
Asama na mike am say say Justice Atugu Babaye, Chief Justice on the Adema George Wood. Penny be attest to Mrs. here. Etinanka on Nanka and your son on the Adema George Wood. Any other. Eti Samuel Bagwina Ayadan Akoso, Bibia, said ye, Oshadono, Yam Paki Honum Niade. Etiaka say, Mo ye, more Paki ho, more Paki ho. Last minute to class or more day. Nomination go and minority Amana Maso. Betty no anti Maso. So on the Supreme Court. To Supreme Court. Come the 2 Paco count, Nanka existing. Eti, would ye set a panel by any oho. Nida no chaze office I mean it should not be so na me benim say sadi we ekowie committee ni wie na dwuma na afi omo recommend say on konko tranchen a wo wie na president confirm the acting chief justice
Justice
Bafuboni no de bakumi enu bi kokoka ho a afi na ora dwuma no ba be hyase afi ana
Justice Bafuboni so ne yire Mrs. Bafuboni so na call Director General Prisons or the who
eh sir
ne yire
oh I see
Uchi corruption man
on pekata say
papa no
oh sir me
obehe omoso ho
oh me no
Uchi corruption
by the principle
papa no
Justice Bafuboni
yeah
on pekata
Fako fani de chi be 3 kilometers away obesense
papa say share prayer
Bafuboni
yeah eti media medium say this country you be move to right direction
to we make say Bafuboni na do no so a Kuffours na appointed no
oh dabi look hwe one say udim raswa it doesn't matter nipa no ne political affiliation or be lawyer to you now there's a man for sense no it is how the manner no was it we go di NPP achi it is na wo gan we be lawyer to the state no hwan president is the state
first gentleman of the land
president kasa ye law I don't even say no
exactly
wo kasa say ene ma wo bia move nkwa ha say ya ye law
would be move you
ye law wo ma directives ye law eti na dem wa ye ka de say Ntim Fordjour say omo enya you know omo ya me wanwa no president a directed say collaborate with him and get to the bottom of the matter. It is security for Romutiti ho yeden. Romutiti ho yeden.
Time in the vessel.
I don't know say yeah before set time no so as say mo man just say kino you say one persuasion phase force must be applied.
Jakpa.
Hwe ada asama na me no wo ka. Ewo ushoso.
Alatari no.
Alata nda meka say omukoko bia yima no wo say meka 18th January no wo sa ebisa bimpo okay to me e say so 18th December ana meka 18th January hey Ntim Fordjour fan World Cup hey hope say sabi chese ye Mahama gate na nkasa ye bia mankrofo e de nyama e ko honum God so good for me or frame me ana meka chense man
recently
me na meka jo Adam say I sleep. A year 18th December 2024. Now fi wako grantee interview
on this.
No ade amedi ayedo no angasa opa omie na nunka biem. Opa omie na nunka biem. You see, ensese ye de oman no edi agro. Asema ye ka ye serious issues. Look, man so omo de atoto ayi say Swissport omo ache ye container be passes they suspect say yi this me say mo President Mahama ba mo na ban no mo na baso
boy juma
mo na baso because we be nani na first no now tete sa de no
there be that
are you telling me say na no mo de ba e ka mo hada bia o na so ba bia ba we say look who this year you beka I don't know mo ba be de na adiba kwa ya me ya ne say look se mo chi say na mu jadi pana let us get to the political affiliation ni fa to abonte
ihu mo ye umudi se dwa
mo ye sade no wo chi wo mo a let us dig
deep
sansanfo no betwa so e wo kromu ase so wo de tie no that me bia na meka hwe Mugabi me kokotena airport wo mede makoma fitaa
enti na wo free ho no omo ma free ho nya asembia
mini asembia na meje madwene se sanu bone no ne MPP di ni de ehu eti no me make sure
bibia ntwam
mo obi nkonkwachi di mbone that time wo bo ndu bone na wo bo president Kuffours di a na ehu eti me make sure se me ma bibia ensi ewo honum
ense ni din
so we dey no eti chese wo hwe ne akukọ okoso na eyade a ehu kakra na wonim ma me endagresi kakra bi papa ya ye friend no Zoom Lion
sa Japan
wọ́n sẹ́ saa aprapra eya omo sign contract with YE ma hu sẹ́ Manasseh Azuri raise issues bi na wo hwɛ issues na look media for mum picking it up mum make sure sɛ Ghana emrantie ne mabawa wo nam kwan ho prapra as a staff of Zoom Lion no wo benya justice abani wa sign contract say bosome so a member 850 Ghana cedis sa 850 Ghana cedis no Zoom Lion de 250 enema omo ye adwuma no ono ankasa wafa 600 ne ye there was say administrative charges
is it true say it will be 250 Ghana wa
255
bisa mo prapra kwan ho no
why a deep investigation on this?
Na first no grade say na omutua say 150. 150. And I need as I said you make sure see I take this matter up. Na me hwe say
e be di akire.
Malik Basintali obey steady.
The new
CEO of YE.
Miami
Malik. Man in science are contract in it. Wow. Man in science. Now, President Enchese Nkombe Biomama competition aba system no. Akwa nipa baako the whole Ghana. Now no near whom. Numbers na papa no be submit no. No more 45,000 people times 850 near Tuama no. Every man. Now, woko why now bisa say under normal circumstances no why ye for and the recruiting crofo no mo dia ma Zoom Lion na omo ye no omo discard ma Zoom Lion no otu omo ka say why ye wan ga sa betima recruiting crofo a adentina isa mo de kokoma no and betu omo ka
na equipment ni ade omo be use
equipment ni ye sen try ye jinja oni adimi gogo ye bi that's been new boy ye sen
ye no mo suko.
They say that's been the boy is saying.
You know Mosuko.
No.
What no,
Mugabi. They say I don't know who. That with him. The immediate passer, you can say CEO, Kofi Japan. Or we have some Bible renew contract.
So could you answer our order?
Or also our order. That time as a milk kuya bochama, na could you board Timika say, oh. Momano ko momfamano nanu ya Kofi Japan so wonye Saudi nipa wo ye board chairman chairman se ja person ho Reverend Kusi Boatin ne yire Anita Kusi Boatin wodo na ye board chair
na me
what's your most sign contract no fama yi Kofi Japan so no
tell me ba me a wo hwe mani
Kusi Boatin do
me na wo hwe mani
say ye mo
Pastor Cathedral
ono wi abete de ho
Pastor Kati Nigeria enna na ebo chama ho
famisi wo for say
be say sadi way look I am saying it here today NDC government some most sign contract no Emma Zoom Lion on this same condition hey
omo peje mo
ka me organize demonstration tia can say Mahama aban
omo team
adenti look say what ye krana o ma nkrofo no 600 and no for 200 for administrative charges yes ka ketwa 250 times 45,000 yes ka ketwa na obi kwa kwagina wiam enye se wo kwa ya adwuma 1 hour wo kwa America na se wo ya adwuma 1 hour Yeah, 1 year sika kra no, and you $15 just 1 hour. Say sika we ya twa no, the whole month no, and $7. Adai.
Opsi.
Adai.
We dey betray me, you be dey chire na ya do mo.
No, Mugabi, Sasemwe, as I said, you find it serious. Then you make sure. Look, let's fight for those people. You fighting Omo na say Omo eji kwoswa. Abaya tumbejo no.
That's it. Captain. Odi mbere ahin bi.
Me
say what the kind of tamale?
My tamale, my Chief Justice.
Oh, tamale, we are member Hokagra.
Obese tamale.
Member Hokagra.
Miriam. Some me person me come once me National Cathedral.
The NTC Cathedral.
I don't know where you went. Oba pa ye dwuma ho.
Da be fa me ko.
One say amanyo ene esom one ye careful esom bedada ema wontimi nyo man yi ena one ye careful politics na ye friend amanyo no eno so bedada ma wasei osom eno no bi na ye ba omie no he forgot that he's a Muslim. No status okotokoto or Jim Bible.
Say you need more molusu.
Okay. Second who send kan Obi ajijiji.
Ene.
Politics eka ho. Enutina a very fine, refined gentleman. Papa no, I love him and I respect him. Or so many politics inti went to me and the president. Akukodako. And I'll tell you why. Na sorry okono Dako Farms. Omukutano wasoro. That time ono na woni padrin mu say we ye Christo ni a we ye politics a enye ye. Enti police station na wona so dan animu onya tu.
Baby anane farms no na.
E what do we report? O report. Onya tu. Eti osom any politics. So we a leader. And so what me shame fin danda ni. E fabi e kotia Kwame Nkrumah. E mra Ghana for started say we di aduro no di buban. Nti Kwame Nkrumah kofa kankan nyame. E di free Senegal. E di abak ai castle ho. Flagstaff House and we di buban. E Christopher wa Ghana ne fan adwene ko di say eh na nyame som de. E den na wo de ayi aduro ani ade be ka kankan nyame. Eti woba ye man Ghana your politics ni ye nyame som no eyepe akronfo wa politics mi na onye Kristo ni Muslim
akronfo no mo politics
catch me sembo a edubo ahe be onye Kristo ni
no science o principal
onye Kristo onye Assemblies of God the way Assemblies of God ni that's Assemblies of God in 24 hwe Jo Mahama na munu ko Assemblies of God no wo ma kwa we that aso dan nim o mo ye dan
say uniform
ye uniform keke we gu nyame anim ase said ye this rada to Peter he mu twa ye no ye the same thing no who say heaven quiet down na say you know
CaptainSmart
no you see when you suro no
mapa
e your sum enti ye feel say o ye Christoni meanwhile ye nya obi so ono so ko ICGC aye se ne bank aboka atwesian yamano so bam
samum
ye other he says here fantastic atwesian de onye Christoni
so akoye surgery de
it is a wo ba Christo sum
oteto wan samum ho koye rage akoye surgery
wo ba Christo sum wo ba islamu a nyaatwom e wo mienu ni nyinam nyaatwom a ya de say ICGC ni no wakoda jail e won samum Assemblies of God for so another conference so the Assemblies of God womo ye dan aso ban no president Kobi
edubo ahe no
womo ye dan ho
Wingam
by now womo issue Reverend Wingam issue statement excommunicating from the church to set as example huge one as a deterrent
from Nyamifie
ba sa kwese do kwa so koto offering so omoje
wasadi communion
enunti ɛna ma obitimi nya akukuduro ɛma me kwadwo smart me so cement me do yame executive secretary baby me share me imagine cement
Yoko so national
me can bibia that time no me see me ma me dan am so cement kosi cathedral osumunti unim di ntia Pentecost no ye wura ye mu say ye bo bibia eye linked to Nyankopon a whatever you are doing stop na me nwie enti matter the phone won chia be yesi nyame adwuma na hwe na wodi akoso that time na me so me see na you na me jaye
na koso cement
na me de cement $100 ko na me catch Fidelity Bank se bosum bia no aya monte 100 ya de ba muntua 100 ba
usika wom
me cement akono
obokagu
kede ja pose mia momo pa matwatwa kwa cathedral mo ba
me say adam so cement ko duru ho no na adomo awie wo mo de no ko because na me ye me mo no show ntimi ye late na me fi adom na e ba asofo wo ho ina betwahia me ho empaye
ye bompaye ma
ewurade the way we see jump paye gu me so pa me kuma tom yam say
ne we pay mo
me chairman opoku ina ewo ho apostle nyameche penifo bebre asofa kese
Pentecost what actually
bompaye ma
that time
and I say cathedral no yeah the $200 million
be boshe
na the tiane say esese sorry a ewo Ghana
so boa
eboa apostolic 40 krum ha asema na apostolic mpanifo ka wajiji nyame mbasika ama yedi akotu tokuro apostolic aso mpanifo ino obi aye quiet obi aye din biankasa number 1 number 2 Assemblies of God na President Mahama Kobi no opedi wingam omuka ho ene ba ko no okoye no superintendent ye fence we fini din omo so agigi Assemblies of God fo sika e de akotu tokuro Assemblies of God mpanifo so wokuro yim omakoma no atum na chese omo fo kro no so. That is why I am coming.
It is time for them to
Dimachi,
come out.
Me am sorry the Church of Pentecost. Edu baby chairman opoku ina senke yemfa one Sunday in siho. Naka the whole Church of Pentecost international worldwide.
Musumo doso.
Yemma for them fan kobwa. Yemfa kobwa National Cathedral. Pentecost one Sunday offering winning millions of dollars a year. And then obi na ka
UK, UAE, everywhere.
And I saw them penny for the executive council because we dey there. I saw them yisika ko. Okay. I saw them sika no mu ya ko na hwa dia. Me tight na me offering ni bia. Pentecost ma so wom
to see odudu.
1.5 million. Wom. 1.5 million. Wom. 2 million.
Majedi.
Omo di sika ne ko
bokago.
Sika na ya gifi nyame nkrofo ho no. On say yen ye kwa asode ya. Ye de nyame dwen na tua sika. Na omo so di nipa dwen akoche. Ye kwa so na ekotua sika. Ye de nyame dwen ena de yi sika no fi ye bottom se wantua nyame nhira ho. Nti ye de nyame dwen na etua se ne ye tua wi a na omo di nipa dwen e de ache.
Asore ba ye.
Ena Pentecost. Enso atena ho. Ahwe se yemfa asore ne sika no. Ye de akotu tokuro. Pentecost mpanifo nyina so to mo so support kro no. Wo ho so ne politics. Meme ya Mahama kan me kan bibia kan ma che opoku nyina
Pentecost ni
Pentecost de she na hwade papa bi no di Yesu achi ese fa ni Peter so
what you want no fine bi
ya be say what ni dinda what Peter dinda Peter di Yesu achi ena akwa bi ye gugwa wo Yesu achi ho otwe se kan ya akwa na so na be ka se Yesu be ka che se hey Peter koto se kan na twene
no de betwa no
se kan na Peter di twa akwa na so Yesu se hey why are there pa fa so no mame asotare no mum se kan ne de sa fa hye bohadim na sa fa di bechi because there's another kwase bi wo yadim kwase bi so ya no man do ba fa won yam enti Yesu ama Peter nto se kan na ntwene o ka chen say Peter sign se twini yo o say sign fa hye bohadim meaning that ye kodo de Masaka no ho. Peter na sudie ina nso obetwa obi aso. Eye Yesu so responsibility so de betare. It's me to my responsibility. They said you make more memo anya no meka. It will be responsibility so be ho adwuma. Go. Tisame ya mahama kama chopoku ina da ache. Na kusibu ate. Oh, and on the second that was Zongo police station. Come on. Can it be a process ye wi? What do you not to nchanya? A Christopher wo kroma kwa say mu ade enti ye nyini nche no. Woni be Muslims ni nyini nche papa. Aso for do say they did 107. Edi. Chief Imam 106. And run on 106. Chief Imam to me 50,000 Ghana cedis. Me dey question National Cathedral. Me hu papa imo bo akwakorawa. Isi kanka. Woni say Chief Imam yem tua de cabo so me. But aso for wo kroma na bo so itu omka. Pentecost aso for akese nyina omo. Chief Imam 50,000 Ghana cedis 500 million. Akokem. Feno to nchen. Yanka ho Roman, Methodist, Anglican, Presby. Sana sorry ya ni mo kroma ina wo ya sofo ni nyina so mo boa mo support kro no. Nti krowe ebe yi na che nyame adwuma na ye. Enye nyame adwuma bia ye kro no. Be se ne kroma sofo ya ni mo nyina mo support kro no. Nyame aso bi enka. Enu nti anhwa kroyi ebe che. Na ya de sikana kotutokro teniu $58 million. Ti asema me kacho ni ye. Asema na ye ka no. Where it has nothing to do with Jesus. It's got nothing to do with Muhammad. It's got nothing to do with God. It's got nothing to do with the Holy Spirit. It's got to do with stupidity. That's a name. This, it's got a lot to do with stupidity. That Adiana yase ye fa ye bottom sika nkosi. Nti be dimirika na me so asement ko. Sana ye ebu ye nkwasiafo ye ne ya sofo no na ebu ye kwasia. Pentecost asofo ka ho, Assemblies of God ka ho, Methodist ka ho, Anglican ka. Sana asofo ni na ebu ye moa, se ye gu aso dem ho. Nim nyansa. Ena omo ni aban na ye kanana. Ena asafo man so bre. Ena ye bre. Ena ye ni yadwen se ye de ye asori sika si odan amanyankopon. Famisi me famisi muni time aya mo frɛ ese na me no shase wono wa na shase te muni time na mo amade ha ano acha sai na ye disika na ntisa akotu amana $58 million ye de abotokuro minia wo da sere ye de abotokuro ato na ye nya asofo mpanifo wo kurum ha etimi asa kodwo ma akọ blackmailing no. And your excellency may catch your plane. God will not forgive you if you don't prosecute when I want National Cathedral. To start your home. When my dear so for your mama recently. Oh, your April. First week in April, yeah. Mr. President. Mr. Womo. Koya o makofre. Ye mompae. Domina anya nkopon ne ode ne Yehowa. Ghana so for be we o mo bompe asapotro. Ena jalo sade utume no ho tente ya. Yewrade we see hina maye. Yada Asiedu Nketia. Amen. President Trans no mo na mane ha. Amane obodo ko bojo mahama ne se minia onjai National Cathedral na chidi.
Omo boa.
Nesa they will turn the church against him. Shia. What were they omo koye? Now Ghana for listen to me. What mo say? President Mahama onjai so be prosecute asofo na ewo cathedral ne so no. Anyone wa ama ya bossa aka no. Nesa nyesa they will turn the church against him.
Nyankopon beti ase.
Enti omanya yetimi opani adubu ahi ne bebe mai ono so no so Assemblies of God ni ono de yeso afesika enti ye prosecute no nyesa sofo ne de sofo no ono na say Ghana mra da ho kire se kwanta kro ntimi mu aban besia kusibu aten se ono wabo aban besia e National Cathedral enti yama ne nko
enye sika ketwa nzo
mama mako fa ship akọ krabo o mako Israel akọ sesa abo asa yesu so ne sesa abo koton construction site ye treka na Ghana so fo hye kasok ebo clerical eta seta se abo e wo Israel ni abo na egu container ne de si ship so ne de abesi kurom ha container ne si ho abo no gum yɛse yakɔ Garden of Eden yakɔ to flowers yɛde aba yɛde ba bedua hwɛ ɛsɛ president animanim yɛn or institute commission under committee
there be commission there me against it wɔyɛ commission a wɔn bɛ fɔ mu ho di ade no bɛ kɔ court no commission grade the men suggest cry no
because finally
what tell you guys we are mfazo be no
can go to court can for ya ta call parliament okuja to busa na asem national cathedral no what answer dem aye o say op accountability bi a o musa ho amu asofo na ete so no it is sanka by now
kusi boate na mo
national security invite to Poku ina da
and you got for best sorry
o me fara kwa me
Poku nyina was the chair person
by now
officer there kusi boate
with the trailer me by now Poku ina kwa national security no na your friend is saying kusi boate or kwa NIB yoko de nyabotre
maso bete money su be hu stations awudo bebre NF adwumadie live okotamalia Kesmi 107.1 FM ekuremu ho yenuanuma wo bole